Okay, all right.
Right.
Good
Finally,
morning,
we're here.
good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. So, if you're watching this, it's been a hot minute, but welcome back to our this interview segment here at Brushpoint. If you're new here, I'm your host, Vinicius, or if you're nasty, you can call me Justin. For today, actually tonight, here in the Philippines, we have a decorated concept artist, art director from our home court, the Philippines. And when I say decorated, I'm not exaggerating. Just check out his website and LinkedIn if you don't believe me, right off the bat. Some of the projects he's worked on are under Lucasfilms, Ubisoft Bordeaux, and Ubisoft Leamington, EA, Microsoft, Bethesda, and Respawn Entertainment, to name a few. And most important of all, he is the head instructor of Musings Art Academy.
All
So,
right.
without further ado, please welcome Mr. Raymond Tan. So,
All
welcome
right.
to the show,
Hey,
man.
everyone. Thank you so much for being here. To anyone who's like tuning in, I appreciate your time. Shout out to Brushpoint community. Thanks for having me here. There we go. That's a shirt. Okay. Please get that shirt. That's a cool shirt. I'm gonna have one. Okay. I have to buy one. I have to get one. Yeah.
Yes, we're working.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me here. Yeah, Brushpoint is such a cool community. They've been, we've linked together in one of our um, workshops in Wonders with Musing. So yeah, there we go. Thank you so much for being here. Okay.
I got a cool shirt from them and the tote bag
Oh
for our
yeah.
guys.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's nice. Yeah.
I would flex
Guys.
it right now, but it's in the laundry. So
Hopefully, for this interview that we're going to do, it could be useful to anyone who's listening. So there we go. Okay. All right.
um,
Cool.
we'll make sure. But yeah,
All right.
before we get really into it, I think we should start. I think this is your first online interview. I did some digging. I always do for
All right.
guests.
Yeah. Sure.
I haven't found a single video of you online. So we can set
All
the.
right.
Is this our exclusive? Is this a Brushpoint
I think
exclusive?
this one's a Brushpoint exclusive. Although I did a few. Thankfully, the internet kind of kept it hidden. Yeah,
Oh,
I
uh,
did a little bit I think on Mages in some game uh, game affiliated organizations. But yeah, for this time it's for let's do it to our home country. So let's do this Brushpoint. There we go.
all right.
Yeah, yeah, it's first time. Yeah, first time.
Let's
Okay,
Okay, we can start. We can start gentle. Okay.
sure.
If my info is right, you got a certificate in multimedia arts at First Academy of Computer Arts over at Makati.
Yeah, there we
Yeah,
go. There we go.
that's
Okay.
where you started. But
Yeah.
my info said you were there for 1 year and then you went all the way to Singapore to attend LaSalle SIA College of the Arts to
Yeah,
major in
sure.
figure drawing.
Yeah, yep, yep. So
Okay.
for a very quick overview of my education, so I don't really have any formal training for education. Just so everyone would know, I graduated in University of Santo Tomas. Okay, so I finished hotel and restaurant management. Okay, so
HRM.
yes, HRM, not really making any sense at all to this industry that I've been working for 15 plus years. Now, my small that's a short course that I took. I think this was like 2009, 2010, because at that time I was really tinkering on how would you learn how to draw digitally, like in a proper way, and also thinking about maybe dabbling into animation. So we saw this like the first Academy of Computer Arts. That's in Makati, I think. Dude, every time I pass by there, in I think that's in Hilpuyat, because my girlfriend lives near Ayala Triangle, so I always see that spot right there, and that's where I took my understanding of multimedia arts, but I focused mostly on digital arts back then. So they're like digital painting, all that stuff. It's pretty cool. And then but it's like very short, maybe 3 months or so.
Not even a
Um,
year. Okay,
no,
okay.
not even a year. And then when I after because what happened there is that during that course I was like that was like I don't know, some kind of renaissance period in my life, yeah, because from what I remember, that was like after I came back from the UK. So this because after graduating from UST, I was like 20 years old or so. I left the country. So and then I've tried different jobs, odd jobs, and I
Where did you go?
so the first destination was US. Okay, US. Yeah. So I tried because my sorry guys, I'm jumping into
No, no.
different topics right there. This is just again a quick story about my background. Okay, I love to draw even when I was younger, but then when I was in high school, my focus shifted. I shifted in sports. I like playing basketball, and even up to college, I never really touched drawing at all. That's like the focus of my young adult life. I thought I was good. I thought I really wanted to go pro, but then life says otherwise, so I didn't make it.
As it
But
goes,
then
yeah.
yeah, and then fast forward, I flew to the States to train over there, basketball, and then came back, and then go back to the UK. I was just walking right there. Look, I stopped basketball at that time. I think I'm working in the hotel, and then I just got injured. I was walking, my foot just like that. I was just
Oh,
walking.
what?
Yeah, walking.
Like got stuck in a crack or something?
No, I was just, dude, I was really walking. I'm just walking on some. It's not really cobblestone. I'm just walking on like plain, like on the street. That's it. My foot. And then I went back home, and then I went for rehab. And then at that time, it was like one of those like saddest part of my life. Okay, because like everyone is like have their own life thought of ahead of them. Hey, some
Oh,
parents are like bank managers. Not sorry, working in a bank, and store managers. Working on different coffee shops. Some of them have like stellar career in corporate. Well, there I am. I'm a crippled dream chaser. I
how
just
old
want-
were you?
I was
How
think
old
I
were you?
think that was like 22 or something. 22. Yeah. So I was when I was on rehab. I remember like one thing that I've learned while I was working on odd jobs. I worked on a laundromat when I was in the States, and the owner there, I think he cussed at me for some strange reason, and he says that what, I can grab anybody from the street and train that person for 2 months, and then he can take over your job, or maybe 1 month. And
Okay.
that really stuck with me when I was on rehab. That if I go back to working in a hotel or some corporate job, okay, guys, maybe it's just me, yeah, but I feel like I would want to do something that I really want to do, and something that I feel like I will be irreplaceable. Because you will have your own identity, and you'll be the one that, like, it'll be difficult for you to be replaced. Okay, so that's why I thought that all the stuff that I've learned through the discipline in sports, like in basketball. Like, I wasn't really that good. And I don't have any talent from it, but I realized that the more you have a routine, you're disciplined. Somehow your skills would well, there's no way to go but up. You would get better. So, and then during rehab, I thought of that will be the time where I'm gonna focus on art. So I took that quick course in First Academy of Computer Arts. But besides that, man, I was like burning candles on both ends with working, yeah, with doing art. So I was like, after that, I I work at nighttime, and then I didn't finish a course over there. Yeah, I received a certificate of completion because thankfully, I think 6 months in, I got work. I got work doing comic book, and then it was like so that's like my first gig drawing comics. At that time I feel like I'm the man, because I'm earning dollars, but but the pay is like so low. I think it's like $20, but I get to finish that for 2 weeks, so I'm only earning $20 for 2 weeks. So it's really low. But then as I build my portfolio, thankfully the job in Singapore called me, and that's my first job. Working on games. It's Newbie. The company is shut down right now, but
Wait,
yeah,
before we get there.
yeah, sure.
So when you finish that certificate and then when you got a job in comics, what was the time span, like timeline for that? Was that
Okay,
only some? How
so
old were you?
I think I was like 20, 22 or
23.
something, 22, 23, around there, around
So
there.
one around 1 year. That
Yeah,
was your
around 1 year,
growth.
around it. Yeah. So that's why I didn't finish a course because, like, look, man, I think their program is pretty good. They have some industry people there. Okay, although I feel like something's missing, um, which would be like, what's how would you apply this to an actual job? Because I think the
Uh,
teachers there aren't concept artists, but I don't. Although at that time I don't know what concept art is. All I know is that you can do art assets for games. And then when I was like doing that comic book, I was like flat broke and all that stuff, but building my portfolio. And then the Singapore job thankfully called me, and I got in. That was I think around 2010, if I'm not mistaken. That's when I joined Newbie, and it was
so
like
in
my
that 1 year,
yeah.
you were locked in from, like, let's say a novice. You got a job after a year in
Yeah,
Singapore.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think every year. Yeah. Actually, I joined 2011. Sorry, checking back in my CV right here. Yeah, 2011. Yeah. So there, I was just locked in, man. Like, this is something that I also impart to my students. Like, build a solid routine and don't break the chain. Like I remember when I was doing that, because my mom even told me like, hey, you have to draw like your life depends on it, because it actually does.
Wow,
Yeah, and
that's rich coming from an Asian, a Filipino mom.
yeah. She's a Filipino mom, and also like she raised me like alone. So there, yeah, we're four siblings, and she's very supportive of my work. I didn't come from money, and I remember at that time, when I was pursuing this art thing, um, uh, she actually um, took I think she borrowed Andrew Loomis's book, all those like Andrew Loomis stuff,
Uh huh.
photocopied that because it's actually cheaper to
Uh
photocopy and
huh.
bookbind that, and gave it to me, but to have the debt of karma. So when I was working in Singapore, I bought all those books so that I won't have any that those things hanging on my head.
Counterfeit books.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But yeah, so yeah, I that's when I joined Newbie, and I've met like many artists over there in Singapore. But that's actually how I knew about concept art, because when I got in there, all my colleagues were FZD graduates and
Oh,
3D Sense graduates. So it's kind of intimidating at
art
first.
school.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. It's kind of intimidating that time, but I'm grateful that all my colleagues were there to also like help me out, and thankfully I've gotten better. So there, that's the start of my gig. But yeah, just going back, keeping your routine, and yeah, like my routine is like morning I do anatomy study, nighttime try to do digital painting. This was like going 7 days a week. So there, so that's just how it was. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I got a question because this was
Sure.
around 2009 to 2011. Okay, those were the years I keyed into while you were narrating. So
Sure.
what I wanted to ask was, if you were to do that again now, do you think you'd manage to like, get sponsored? Because I wanted to ask, how did you get those visas back then? Because you went to the U.S. and Singapore and other countries.
Yeah, yeah.
This was all during college.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you get how do you get to the visas?
Okay, now for the States, it was actually just a tourist visa. So I just visited there. And this was right after my graduation, because most of my families are based overseas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I try to get to visit them, and thankfully my aunt knows someone who does quite involved with some basketball camps over there. So that's why I've got into some basketball camps. But my work in the States is just under the table, working
Oh,
on
I've heard.
yeah.
Went
So
to
yeah,
those. There's an industry for that. Okay.
yeah. So guys, I did some shady stuff, but not so shady there. And but in Singapore, it was I think it's a work visa. It was
Yeah,
a
yeah.
work visa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Work visa. So
Yes.
I've been doing some research on work visas, and
Sure.
one of the things that struck out to me for a Philippine to get sponsored is you have to be extraordinarily like talented because they can't get this talent in their own homeland. They had to go to the diplomacy of getting the
Yeah.
paperwork done to ship you to the
Yes.
country, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
we have like another requirement that no other country has, something about another certificate. Anyway, so they go through all of that just to
Mhm.
ship you. So I wanted to ask, what was it, do you think, in your portfolio and in your work ethic that stood out for them to go through that, to hire
Mm,
and ship
yeah.
you there?
Cool. All right. So this was like way back, guys. So if just to be frank, if I will have the same portfolio that I have back in 2010 and apply right now, my CV will just go to the shredder. Okay. So
Oh,
just so everyone would know. Okay. Now, I think this is an advice that I always tell my students, because right now it's very accessible. Like you can look at ArtStation, or and also observe what this the company is putting out there. You can search their junior artists or the senior artists to somehow benchmark the work that you're putting. Okay, if I think in most careers, if you're um, if you're completely honest about it, you would see you would see improvement coming from all angles. Because sometimes you would feel like, oh, you know what, I'm not there yet because I'm benchmarking to this one. I feel like that's where you can see growth. But so what I did there is that I basically just um, yeah, it's just very simple. I just did some few digital paintings with game related assets because that time I was receiving freelance. Before that, I was receiving small freelance contracts from different game studios. Although some of them they haven't really paid me and all that stuff. Some were taking advantage of me. Guys, this was like way back, yeah. So I thought, hey, I've looked at what are game assets looking, so I shot a portfolio build that, and I did an art test, and thankfully I passed with that art test. I have no idea at the time. Even like when I was like doing the interview and they gave me the job offer, they asked me for like a salary expectation. I don't know even the salary expectation in Singapore. So I've even said like it's maybe around maybe 30,000 pesos here in the Philippines, which is like very low at that time. You know, if you're, it'll be, I mean, you can't, well, I think you can survive in Singapore at that time, but it's not what their standard was. Okay.
Yeah, their cost of
And
living is sky high.
yeah. Even way back, you know. And
Yeah,
then even HR told me that, hey, you know what, Raymond, you have to do some research about this and that. So I think, yeah, if there's a key takeaway, like what Justin has said, because if you're gonna get sponsored to work overseas, okay, I think you have to have a stellar portfolio with high quality in terms of being at par to the artist that's out there, you know. And also a lot of artists don't really tailor their work, so it's like you're shooting yourself in the foot. Like for example, like Justin, right? Let's say Justin and I were looking for jobs, okay? And Justin, let's say, oh, you know what, I would like to work for Bethesda or something like that. Me as well. So me and Justin were going to push ourselves and, you know, build that portfolio that is similar to what Bethesda is putting out there. Okay, at least we can get the quality, because we don't know if they're still working on like Dragon Age or maybe working on Mass Effect or something like that. We don't know. Maybe they're working on something, but at least we have the benchmark at par with what they're looking for. But imagine if me and Justin were aiming for everything, like, oh, this is what they do in CD Project Red. This is what they do in Ubisoft. We are competing with thousands and thousands of concept artists. Wherein I feel like
yeah.
there's not much time to do that. But yeah, did I answer your question there? Is that yeah, clear?
Yeah, yeah, you did because I wanted to highlight and dial in on that because newsflash, if you're Filipino, our passport's one of the weakest in the world. It's a sad reality.
Oh
You
yeah,
Google it.
oh, yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that's why I wanted to ask, like,
Mhm.
if you were really gonna get shipped out and sponsored by a company, your portfolio better be like above and beyond. Like you really got
Yeah,
the bars. The
yeah, yeah,
skill shouldn't be in doubt. You know. So I
yeah.
wanted to ask, like, back then,
Hmm.
and you did answer like what you did
Hmm.
at the time. And I
Yeah.
guess part of it is opportunity came knocking, and you were there. You were ready.
Yes,
Weren't
yes.
ready on like knowing what the salary expectation was, but your
Yeah.
talent and your skill was there,
Yeah.
and you answered the call.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
sometimes artists aren't ready when the opportunities are there. They haven't
Yeah.
got your portfolio updated,
Hmm.
so they got caught
Sure.
with their pants down, right? So
Yeah,
that's why I
I
wanted to
agree.
ask.
Yeah, I agree with what Justin has said. To anyone to everyone who's listening, Justin said something there that's important about opportunities, right? Because I often have this question asked in wonders or in like regular forums with my students. How about like they say they can't find the right opportunity?
Oh,
Yeah, but you know what? Really, there's no big or small opportunity out there, because it's up to you to make it a big opportunity or a small opportunity. Like for example, let's just say tomorrow or next week, everyone will be coming in here in the Philippines. You know, EA, Bethesda, Naughty Dog, everybody will be coming in here. And guess what? Let's say you didn't prepare for it. You don't have anything to show in your portfolio. It means that that opportunity is not there anyway because you're not prepared, right? So, but then again, if let's say quote unquote there's no opportunity, and you're working on your portfolio and your portfolio is level, you know, so high that it could like be at par with artists from Magic the Gathering, artists from Ubisoft, Sony. I'm sure that you will have an opportunity, even though this could be a small studio. But when you guys did, let's say, an art blast, they would say, "Oh my God, look at this Justin guy! He's so good." I'm sure opportunities would come in knocking. That's why I feel like the idea of having that, hey, there's no opportunity. That's really a fallacy if you think about that. It's more about what do you have really in your work. Okay, so I think that's one. Just want to add up to that because Justin did a very good point with that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Let's bookmark the word opportunity because I got something spicy planned for
Sure.
you later on. But yes, thank you for that warm up. Okay, because we're really gonna get into that later.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's
Cool.
existential. Okay,
Right.
we're
Right.
gonna
Right.
get
Right.
Old Testament on this. But
Right.
first,
Right. Right.
let's build it up some more. Okay,
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
now you touched on getting ready, right? What should an aspiring concept artist nowadays, what mindset should they have when they're going
Uh,
against thousands of people, like what you said? No, can we contextualize this for
sure.
our
Yes.
Asian Filipino listeners, and then let's contextualize it globally? Okay,
Oh
so
yeah.
let's
Sure.
start with our home court.
All
So,
right.
for example, me, I
Yes.
want to
Yes.
work in Sony Santa Monica Studio. What mindset should I have as a concept artist coming from my background in like another industry? I'm in casual games right now.
Sure. Sure. Yeah. 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 All right. So now, I think because right now, Justin, we have to take into consideration as well the current state of the industry, and also
Yeah,
like what are
totally.
the relevant techniques out there or tools that's using, right?
Okay,
But again,
those are good facts. Yeah.
this is just hypothetical, right? Coming from what Justin has said. Okay, one, I feel like if you want to get into a studio like Sony Santa Monica, and that's a goal. First, I believe so that if they're gonna hire you for a work visa situation, it'll be much more plausible. Excuse me. If you're a senior guy, okay, if you're
Senior.
senior level, okay, because like for example, I'm sure they have an array of concept artists that they're working like juniors because they can easily get that in the states, or of course,
Exactly.
yeah, that's a lot. Okay, so I feel like you have to build up your game to senior, or better yet, polish your portfolio into senior level quality portfolio. I think that's it. And create a strong body of work which has like 10 to 15 strong portfolio pieces that has specialization. Because I think they're not going to hire a generalist. Again, this is for Sony Santa Monica. I haven't worked with them, but this is just me having some hypothetical thought for this one. Okay, as to guys also is listening, when I was in Ubisoft and when I was in Virtus working with Lucas and all that stuff, I was part of the hiring team, so I pretty much have an idea for this. So now, after I think after building that strong body of work, um, this goes to show that about the mindset. I feel like you shouldn't have any defeatist mind state or state of mind. Okay, like for example, you would say because I believe that reality is neutral. It's up to you to interpret it, or have an attribute to the meaning that you're gonna put into that. Like for example, let's say like in Justin's situation, he says, "Oh, I'm working right now on casual games, and I want to work on Sony Santa Monica." Okay, now, let's just say in Justin's work, he has a little bit of time. Maybe it's like an 8 hour, 7 hour job, and at the remainder of that, you can build up your portfolio. Okay. Now, maybe Justin A is like some kind of wallowing guy. Woe is me. Oh, I'm never gonna get there because we have the weakest passport in the world. And also I'm in casual game.
Yeah.
Who's gonna notice me, right? Who's gonna
I'm in a
notice me?
third world country.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
so that perspective, right? So defeatist mind says, I'm just gonna wallow here and bury yourself there on your couch and hating everybody. So guys,
I'm
don't.
never gonna get off this country.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. So no, please don't be on that mindset. But let's say Justin B, he's proactive. He knows that he's in control of the situation, and then everything. I believe when you believe that reality is favoring you, you would look at
Mm.
every situation as an advantage. For example, okay, if I made Sony Santa Monica and that's my dream, this will be a very good story. Okay, if you look back in your life. And then with that said, of course, you need to propel that with being having a positive mindset, and building yourself from there. For example, Justin would say, okay, you know what, I'm working right now on this casual game, but I'm gonna do my best here so that somehow I can get promoted to senior level. But besides that, because casual games might not be the portfolio that's on the lookout with Sony Santa Monica, I'm gonna build a strong personal project that I feel can be at par with what they're producing out there. Okay, and I think also this will be a good time because as you build your experience in this like casual games, right? It means that you're already in the industry. It's easier to shift jobs while you are in the industry because one guys that guys, I feel like what's underrated about this job is studio experience. Okay, studio experience is super important because you might just think that, oh, you know what, I should have to have like an amazing portfolio and I'm gonna get in. No, no. Studio experience is important too because this goes to show that you are synergistic with the people you're working with, and this is also a good place for you to network. Not just connect with people, but if let's say Justin would move to Sony Santa Monica, they would say, hey, they might ask for you for reference. Maybe your art directors over there in the casual game studio would say, oh, you know what, Justin, he's so he never delivers late from our concept work. He's always keen to improving the feedback, and when he became senior, he was so good in mentoring people. So I think you can go about and hire him. And I feel like from there, it's like again, if you believe that reality is favoring you, if let's say you've applied for a different studio, let's say Sony doesn't respond for now, Sony Santa Monica, maybe if you feel like, okay, maybe let me try going to New Zealand, maybe go to Weta or things like that. Okay, that might not be Sony, but it could open the door for Sony. So you work in there. Maybe this time you worked on, I don't know, maybe the Lord of the Rings franchise or some kind of movie. And then of course when you build that experience under your belt, I'm sure that another door will open. But if you just take into consideration that every step you have on the way is it's not like a reroute, but it's more like a pathway that you haven't really explored yet, and you believe that that's a goal. I think you're gonna get there. It's just that, like most artists, they often, I don't know, maybe it's cliche, but they give up without even trying. I remember this like good line that I've read before: "Do you really want to win, or you just want to look good losing?" So I think that's
Oh,
such a good statement. So there, okay.
it goes hard.
Yeah. So I love reading books, man. I think, and also, man, it's always good to have a good supportive people, creative people, like what you guys have in Brushpoint. It's like a good echo chamber of artists, and of course, it's an enriching community. And yeah, I think that's. I feel like when you have that aspiration and you strive for it, and every opportunity you maximize what you can deliver. Okay, I think one of the secrets to life is under promise over delivered. I'm sure you're gonna get there. I'm sure you're gonna get there. Yeah, I'm sure you're gonna get there. Yeah,
Under promise, over deliver.
yeah, under promise over delivered. I think that's good. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, guys.
That was for our persona. That was for our persona named Justin, a strapping young lad from a third world country called the Philippines, age 27, who wants to get into Sony Santa Monica.
Oh, very
That's
young. No, very young. Guys, one day we're gonna look back at this podcast and you would see Justin working on one of the biggest IPs out there. Okay. Yeah.
once you
Sometimes,
see my name in the
yeah,
credits of God of War,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then bring this back up.
yeah. We're gonna bring this back up because sometimes, like, these things are, it might be something that you weren't expecting, but then later on you would see, oh man, yeah, it, it will be a better story. I started from
It's
here.
the law of attraction. Once you
Sure.
speak it, it's
Yeah, yeah,
there.
yeah,
It's in
yeah,
the
yeah,
world.
yeah, 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 yeah. I believe
It's
that.
not.
I believe that. I believe
I
that.
believe in that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think this can also apply to other people, like globally, be it in like other countries, Europe, U.S., the
Sure.
Western areas.
Yeah.
Okay, so you heard it there, guys. That was very detailed. Like,
Mhm.
thank you for that. Okay,
Oh, okay. Hopefully, everyone has a bit of a some surge over there to just pursue where you really want to go.
dude,
Uh,
we have 33 watching right now. I think this is
oh,
like
okay.
one of our highest live
Oh,
audiences.
all right,
That's
guys.
pretty spicy.
Hey, thanks for taking the time. I really appreciate you guys. So thank you so much. Okay, there.
Let's keep it
Yeah,
going.
yeah,
Now, let's
sure.
also bookmark something what you said there, not having a defeatist mindset, and what you said about we have to consider the current state of the industry. We'll talk more about that later
All
when
right.
we go extension. Okay,
Okay. All
thank
right.
you. Like, but for now, let's be blissfully unaware of the turmoil that is the industry right now, and let's
Mm-hmm.
stay back to art. Okay,
All right.
so
Yeah.
you mentioned earlier you were part of the hiring team, so that's a perfect segue to my
Sure.
next question.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
As an art director or someone who's been part of hiring, what is
Mhm.
something you don't see enough when juniors apply for work or aspiring juniors apply for work?
Juniors. Okay. Right.
Juniors and then seniors together.
Juniors and
Yeah.
seniors. Okay. After this one, Justin, just please add any stuff that you've observed as well, because I feel like it's also good for them to know coming from your vantage point. I think it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So okay, for juniors, this is something that again we've been pushing forward in my school as well in Musings. Okay, one thing that they're going to look at first is not your CV, so that's not really important. But it's still part of the application, but it's not that important. Okay, but keep it professional. Okay, and then having a good portfolio, and often the link is not working, so please make sure that the link is working. All right. Again, I think I've seen like many portfolios, even with missing links. Okay, so and keep it clean, guys. Keep it clean. Just if you have ArtStation, do it. I suggest as well to have a professional mindset. You know that idea when dude, to anyone here, maybe you guys don't know, Justin is boxing, so we can talk about boxing a little bit. I'm a fan of martial arts as well and boxing. Mike
Like,
Tyson
aren't
once
you?
said, yeah, Mike Tyson once said, before you become a champion, you should live like a champion. So if let's say you'll be a professional, I feel like having a professional, like having a website works, okay, because that gives the hiring people an insight about how serious you are, and also make it clean. Keep it simple. There's a lot of websites out there. If you have an Adobe subscription, you can use my portfolio and it'll be professional looking. I have students who did that and got hired, and they have like clean looking portfolio. Now with that aside, okay, now for juniors, what they'll be looking at in your portfolio would be one, a very strong illustration skills. Okay, it's not really design. Okay, well, partly design, but strong illustration skills, because now what illustration skills would be very good digital painting, understanding of drawing, of course, perspective, uh, and the whole shebang, anatomy, all that stuff, and 3D.
Wait, for a second. This is for a junior concept artist role,
Yes,
right?
junior concept artist role.
Okay.
Yes. So one would be, of course, solid draftsmanship and drawing, good digital and painting. This one goes into like again photo bashing. Guys, I'm speaking with like Ubisoft, Lucasfilms, all that stuff, like realistic AAA concepts here, and of course understanding of 3D. Okay, 3D is a must. Now, the reason why illustration skills is important is because when you hop into the when you hop into the job, let's say, hey, you know what? Let's hire this Justin guy. He's a junior. We got him. Okay. Maybe Justin's eye for design is not there yet, but let's say I'm the lead. I'm gonna give Justin quick feedback, and somehow Justin can make it beautiful. That's why your illustration skills is super important. Okay, very important as a junior. If you guys notice, like in our school, our priority is not really environment design, character design, foundations courses, drawing and design, and painting for 2D and 3D production, because this is the base point which you should have. Okay, Now, I feel like as well in schools over here, I think they should prioritize that and not, hey, draw this, draw that, character design. No, no, prioritize all this stuff, the foundations. Now, with that illustration skills, the next would be having a strong visual library. Okay, this is something that my art director told me about how they hire people, and also how I was taught to hire and look for. Okay, now. I think I've touched upon this when we were together in Wonders. They're looking for thumbnails, okay? Because the inception of every design starts from solid thumbnails. This is where we can see how you offer strong design solutions, okay? And also how you present your work is very important. Like sometimes when you do concepts, it might look amateurish, but when it's presented clean, with a clean background, you can see the silhouette and it's rendered well. You can definitely see like a very good visibility of that. It's like
When it's packaged.
yes, yes, you're right, it's packaged well. So sorry, I'm quoting a lot of my art directors. Like he said to me before, a bad design can be saved by a good presentation. Okay, so
I
uh,
believe in that.
yeah, yeah. Because he says that when you see something that's presented well, you have to consider having a second look. So there, and also, um, and what else? Targeted portfolio. I think it's very good to have targeted portfolio, and also you don't really need to show schoolworks. Like anatomy, perspective. I think that's you can remove that. Where instead
Don't
show.
show your studies.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Show that in your portfolio pieces. Okay, if you're good at anatomy, then show that on the character. Also, try to lessen the 2D looking stuff. For example, like if you're gonna render a face of a character, instead of rendering it in side view, maybe render it in 3/4, so we would know how good you are in dimensionality and drawing. And lastly, guys, this one is again important. This is us because even right now we're always on the lookout for artists who has like strong visual library. So if you're gonna put some sketches over there, add sketches that shows how strong your visual library is. That is in line with the work that you would want to do. For example, if let's say Justin would want to go to God of War, Sony Santa Monica, I think it would be cool to show his visual library studies with maybe some like Norse hammers or different boats that was done in that era. Okay, all the totems that was wood carved, something like that, which shows how deep you are in as a designer. And then in your portfolio, add in there the call outs. So because one thing that I haven't really seen right now, especially in the dawn of AI and lazy designers, okay,
Haha.
it's like they don't really show how you think. Like for example, yes, first showcase the wow factor. Let's say a beautiful key art, whether it's character, environment, or prop, and then showcase the design solution. Like say, okay, these are like my five thumbnails before I went there. Okay, and then maybe on the last part over there, do a call out sheet. For example, this middle part is inspired by this particular form language, or this particular thing is inspired by this functionality, so that we would know how in depth you are in solving problems. Because what you have to have in your portfolio is to have an impression that we are ready to hire this person. Like, oh, you know what? This person we're ready to hire to be a part of the team. That's for juniors. Yeah, that's for juniors. And also, as a junior, I would suggest for you to show range instead of maybe having a hero character. I would suggest maybe do like NPC concepts. Okay, NPC concepts, because those are the things that you'll be doing. Let's say, for example, also put in there non-militarized stuff. Non-militarized stuff. Okay. Again, in our school in Musings, we do like, yeah, you guys might see in our portfolio. The students work over there. We have some weapons, but really how I train my students in depth in designing would be non-militarized, because it's very difficult to make some things look cool when it's not militarized. So try having that in your portfolio. Like I've said this to Justin before, I think in Wonders, right? Or maybe in passing. Sorry, guys, I'm mixing a few a few instances, but let's say, because your job as a concept artist is to make cool things look cooler. Okay, make cool things look cooler, but that's your job as a junior. So because seniors often they know what cool is. So this is the reason why I think most juniors right now, when they touch AI, okay, they see that's, oh, that's amazing, that's cool. When they do photo bashing, oh, that's amazing, that's cool, without you even knowing what cool is. Okay, like for example, this was often a good example that I share to my students, and to artists that I meet. Like a regular crossbow is already looking cool. Now, your job is to make that cooler. But how are you gonna make it cooler when you don't know what cool is? Okay, so you don't want to be on the other end, wherein the crossbow that you've designed looks a little bit bland compared to the actual crossbow. Okay, because I've seen that, wherein even an art director gave a feedback to a junior before, that's actually the actual crossbow is cooler than yours. So I think
Oh,
learning how
on the
to,
topic
yes,
of the
yes,
crossbow,
yes.
because someone's asking here, named Patricia, call out question mark. So on the topic of crossbow, um, sh- so we can explain what a call out is for people who don't know.
Yes,
Call
yes,
outs
sure.
are when you put an arrow into, like, let's say, the texture or the
Yes,
material of this crossbow. This one has rubber grips because when
yes,
your
for
hand
example.
gets wet with blood, for example, that's a call out. You put a little arrow and then a little square that's masked with like the material, and then you type there, this is made of rubber latex for grip.
Sure,
And then
yes.
and then when we go to the chassis, the body, it's chambered or something so that it's weight relieved. You put the call out right there. Those
Yeah.
are the call outs that we're talking about, right? Do you
Yes.
want to add to that, Raymond?
Yeah, yeah. Justin is on point there. Basically, call out is more of an extensive explanation of your concept. Okay.
Why
Yeah,
do we need that?
yeah, we need that because to further explain the stuff that you are showing, and also to showcase the way that you think. Okay,
There
because
we go.
again, our job is to offer design solutions. Of course, we're there to paint pretty pictures, but that's just it's
We're
part of the
solving
job.
problems too.
Solving problems, yes. Justin can attest to this as well, right? Daily, man, it's just solving
Oh
problems.
yeah.
Solving
Yeah,
problems.
my art director always hammers like, always send with context, guys. Always send like,
Mm,
this art. Don't give me art. Give me context as well. So
yes.
that's why we have call outs, Patricia.
Yes, call outs. Yes, call outs is super important. And yeah, also try to again, maybe as a junior, again, this is for anyone who would want to apply. Focus again on non-military stuff. If you think about like games, right, or let's say movies, even though this won't be Call of Duty. Call of Duty is like an action game, like shooter games. Everywhere there you can see guns, but if you look at an actual map, okay, 80% there is not weapons. Okay. Now that's why 80% of the work is not weapon. It's not a weapon. So I think you would see majority of the art blast would be doors, okay, windows, lamps, okay, all that stuff. Even like the level design of a room. That's the actual job. And Justin's laughing. He knows it. Okay, he knows it. That's it.
The quote
In
unquote boring stuff
Yeah, the
that
quote
people
unquote boring
overlook.
stuff, quote-unquote boring stuff that people overlook. And in art tests, yes, you would get some weapons, all that stuff, but really in your portfolio, they would want to see things like this. But of course, this is not me saying that don't include any militarized stuff there. I'm saying that maybe you can add one militarized stuff there, but learn first to make the quote-unquote uncool things or boring things look cooler. And then from there, I feel like you would have a more we can maximize your potential of getting hired with those pieces. Anything you would want to add to that, Justin, especially for juniors, um,
Yeah,
yeah, sure.
just a little tangent. We're there to help make the pipeline go smoother. So another reason why we're problem solving and why we're stressing on being clear when we have a portfolio, like on the call out and stuff, is because we're gonna pass these on to the 3D modelers, and we don't want to
Yes.
have back and forth. Like, what is this material? Is this matte? Why didn't you render
Yeah.
it? Yeah, there we go. The time
There you
is
go.
money in the studio, so
Sure, sure.
once you pass it, they better not have questions as much as possible. They better know that, okay, this is not actually matte; it's actually chrome or something like that.
Right,
Okay.
right, right. That's correct, guys. Also, if you guys are going to like what Justin has said, right? Everything is you're just part of the pipeline, and You know that you know that you're doing your job well when you are making everybody's lives easier. Okay. Now, about for characters, this is like super underrated. I've seen this hundred times, man. Uh, like the belts, the buckles, all that stuff doesn't work at
Where did they
all.
attach to?
Where are they attached to, and how do you like build this thing? How is this one possible? Okay, very common thing that I've been there on the receiving end. Like, hey Raymond, can you call it junior? And how do we fix this? Okay, so please be mindful of your references, heavy referencing. Okay, that's important as well for especially for building your portfolio. Yeah. Okay. Anything with that, Justin?
No, I think we're ready to move on to seniors now.
All right. So for seniors, okay. Now seniors are more experienced guys. Now often I've had like students who train with us in musings. They're juniors, leveling up to senior. Now this one is aiming towards specialization. Okay, because I think when you're a junior, you have to know how to do everything, but you have to be good at one thing. Okay, know how to do everything, but you have to be good at one thing. Okay, now when you're a senior, you're already good at one thing. Okay, so whether it's character or a prop or an environment, okay, or maybe story driven shots or something like that. Okay, now for seniors, I think what they're going to look at would be your the pieces that you've done in your published games or the stuff that you've done at work, because they would see you tackle professional level uh, quality, and also how you've done these piece during the work itself. Okay, because it's very different for you when you're building. Like Justin knows about this because he's already working. And earlier he mentioned about his art director saying, "Hey, just don't send anything. Just give me context, all that stuff here." The thing about like what I've said earlier about studio experience, okay, which is like important. Okay, when you're actually working on a piece, okay, and let's say the lead gave you a feedback, it's so hard to sometimes recover it to make it look cool, okay, because you haven't experienced that in the actual portfolio building, especially when you're doing it on your own. Okay, that's why, like again, in our school, we try to simulate a professional working experience. You guys might see like in our the setup in our courses. I think we're the only ones out there, at least from what my team has researched and my research, we're the ones who's only taking a week break for every month. Everything's like week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and succeeding. We take like a week break so that the students would be able to polish their work and digest the things that's important. Because from there, after that, we do heavy feedback for almost everybody. Okay, because I feel like a good feedback loop is important, and also it's hard to recover that. I'm sure Justin has experienced it. You felt like this design is pretty good, art director gave you some direction, and sometimes it could go sideways, or it could go better. Because the thing what you have to do as a senior is you set the benchmark. Okay, set the benchmark for the rest to follow. And you're in training either to become a lead or maybe a high level senior. Okay, in Ubisoft they have two pathways, the expert pathway, and then the lead artist. I went to the expert route because I felt like I would want to focus on my craft. Lead
Some
goes
secret
up
sauce,
to,
guys. I
yeah,
didn't know about this.
lead goes to like management stuff. So I tried management a little bit, but not for me. I'd rather go to the expert route. So yeah, so there I went to there for seniors. Yes, they would rely more on the published works that you have, and your specialization. So if you're very good at characters, I would suggest in your portfolio, let's say you would want to become character focused. So maybe you have, this is just outside the professional published works that you have. Okay, I would suggest maybe two main characters. If let's say this would be like a, I don't know, maybe some fantasy game. So two main characters, one of which would be let's say a male and a female. So you have a broad range of what you can do. So they would see that, and then potentially put in there some hero prop that is connected to the character. For example, the helmet, the armor, the sword, and different costumes that goes along with it. Okay, and the specificities. For example, like how does the belt work? Okay, or something clever. Let's say, for example, this arrow shoots from the gauntlet. So something like that that shows the in-depth design that you have, and then just don't do like boring turnarounds like the T pose. Okay, please please don't
The
do that.
orthographics.
Yeah, orthographics are important, but keep it production worthy. I think for your own portfolio, it's better for you to put that character on the main scene, like story driven shots that's focused on the character. For example, let's say this character is a knight. Maybe it's like some kind of he's in the woods, and on the foreground you can see some couple of NPC soldiers that he's gonna fight. Yeah, I think that would be cool. So
I
it
see,
shows that.
I see a lot of this in Ubisoft art books. Like for example, we have
Yes, yes,
Assassin's Creed Origins right now. I think they
sure.
call it mood shots. I forgot what the
Yeah,
specific term
yes,
is.
mood shots or story driven shots. Yeah, you see this as well. We've done this.
Is this different from key art, or is it somewhere
Uh,
there?
it's it's. I think the line there is a little bit thin.
Yeah.
It's almost similar. It's almost similar. Key art is often it's polished so that it will look marketing worthy.
Uh huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But
But for concept art, not
concept
that.
art sometimes it might be too like impressionistic because we do this one quite fast and it's meant for visualization. That's
As long as
that's
it's readable.
as long as it's
As long as it's
readable
readable.
and visually understandable. I think that's good. Okay, I think that's good. But yeah, so for senior guys, just work on those things and focus on the smaller things over there. For example, maybe if let's say this character can transform into a wolf or something, maybe he's a werewolf or so. Instead of just drawing the character and the wolf, maybe try to draw a quick transformation for that, so we can see how anatomy, and also a good part of that would be to show again your range. For example, here, let's say we're gonna create. Let's say we have an enemy faction, okay, of knights. Okay, these are knights who are like, I don't know, maybe some kind of a Ronin or something like that. Sorry, guys, these are off the cuff. Yeah, so yeah, maybe do like 5 to 10 concepts of that, so they can see that you can do something that has design anchor, because it's very difficult to draw. It's very difficult to conceptualize something with design anchor. Like maybe you guys have experienced it when you're designing something. Yeah, when
What
you
is design anchor?
okay, I'm going there. We're going there, but
Oh, it's okay.
sorry, no, it's okay. Cool. But design anchor is like, let's say, for example, Justin has designed this very cool. Sorry, I keep saying knight. So very cool.
Because you like knights.
Okay, that's a very cool archer. Okay, very cool archer. Okay, and then this archer has some kind of maybe a very strong triangular shape language. Okay, maybe that's
Shit
the
this.
design. Okay, and then maybe it's inspired by, I don't know, maybe Norse. Okay, maybe that's the idea, right? Now, if you guys think about it, if I were to say, hey, can you design an elven archer? You can design anything, anything, but as long as it's fantasy based. But when Justin designed this triangular shape design, Norse iconography, elven and female, and has some kind of quick facial feature that's sharp, I have to base that design as a design anchor and do some 2 to 3 variations to show like if this one's really good. A good Ubisoft pipeline that we did for a character is that, let's say Justin has created this character, we're gonna create 2 to 3 variations to test if this is really the coolest design. So there, that's a good takeaway as well. Because like for guys that don't know, you might think like, let's say Sony did an art blast, right, for God of War, and that game has been in production for like what, 3 4 years, 5 years,
5 years.
5 years, yeah, around there. And you would see, hey, this guy's working there since like the beginning of this, and he has like what, 15 characters. What the hell, man, this guy has been lazy. Guys, it's not really that, but so to anyone here who would want, who's like aspiring character concept artist, characters are almost senior level or almost quite close to art director type of level work. Not to say that you can't get any character work. I'm not saying that, but it's more like it's a very
High level work.
high level work. Okay, because one, that's where the players are most invested in because that's your avatar to the game world. You see this one. And also creating characters takes time. Like us in Ubisoft, like or even when I was working on Star Wars, we can finish environments for seniors. You can finish environments for 3 days, 3 to 4 days. Okay, there. Sometimes when the deadline's fast, like back in the day, right? I'm relatively fast. Right now, maybe I'm a little bit rusty, but before I can finish two paintings a day. So there, environment paintings a day. But for characters, okay, of course, to have your character approved, it might take like 2 to 3 months. Okay, 2 to 3 months, because tons and tons of iterations. Because it's not really just hey, create a character concept. Um, uh, One would be let's do some facial expressions of this character, different type of hairstyle, okay, even to the costume of how these things are working. That's why you notice that all characters, like say, especially for fantasy, like I've had a little bit of a taste of working on some fantasy, although I can't really discuss what that project is right now. But it will come out like I think in 2 or 3 years or so. But when we're designing it, um, because some of the costumes aren't. Um, it's pretty much grounded, but it's not as grounded as the costumes in Last of Us. Okay, like it's just a regular shirt or regular jeans. You know how to put that. You've There are many things to consider, like say, how do you put on the actual night suit? How many layers was in it? So that's also part of your work as a character costume artist. So now again, if you're a senior, you have to show high level work for this one. So I think that's one. Yeah. Anything to add on that one, Justin? Maybe you have some vantage points. Okay.
Okay. Just to, I guess, riff off of that, concept art as a discipline, um, you really have to be the idea factory. So I know that's not
Right.
for
Right.
everyone,
Right.
but from
Right.
what you said, I know that that's how it goes because I'm obsessed with like watching game documentaries and how they make the sausage, so to speak. But for like other artists that are just getting into this little world of ours, you're gonna be like you're gonna feel overwhelmed because that's the name of the game. Concept art is your problem solving. You have to iterate over and over again, so that can be
Yes.
taxing.
Yes.
Because if you're not into that, you might be more into illustration, which is depending on the pipeline.
Hmm.
Marketing happens near the end, almost actually in the end, where everything's been done, conceptualized, because
Hmm.
everything's clean.
Yeah.
So again, the name of the game is concept art for this one.
Hmm.
So just a little heads up for the listeners there.
Yes.
Um, not
Iteration,
to forget.
very, yeah, very important. Like what Justin has said. Uh, and also like you don't really design for yourself there. You're one of the designers
Mm,
there to contribute to the main game, the bigger picture. And that's why I always come across this question, even with students, like how are you like how do you say this? How do you know when the design is finished? Okay, especially when
how do
you're
you know when to stop?
yeah, when to stop, right? Yeah. If you're by yourself, then trust your self art direction. Okay. If you're with your friends, like say in Brushpoint, you can ask your professional. Like you can ask Justin's opinion, JS's opinion, or Red's opinion. You can ask them. So and then, but in the actual work setting, it's never done unless the guy who calls the shot says yes, like art directors, creative directors, maybe some game designers. That's when you know that the design's finished. So there we go. It's more like a really design is collaboration. So that's one thing that, excuse me, I'd like to share to everyone here. Okay, so there, yeah.
Okay. So that's for the concept art setting. Now, if you're doing art for art's sake, what I learned from another artist, local artist here, like
Sure.
how do I know when to stop? When you've said enough. That's what she told me. So if you think when you think you've said enough with your art, that's it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. When you're exhausted, then you feel like, oh man, this one I've been working on this stuff for like I don't know, maybe 2 3 weeks or a month, man. I have to stop. I have to stop. I have to move on to something else. Yeah, yeah. That's it.
There we go. All right.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. Okay.
So I hope we satiated some of the people's curiosities.
Sure. Yeah.
Someone's
Yeah.
asking, "Is there a demo?" Sorry, man, no demo this time. But
Oh,
we have a
sorry.
lot of wisdom right here. We got
Yeah.
you, Gab.
Sorry,
Oh,
guys, for demo. My apologies. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. Yeah.
oh, part two. You heard it there, guys. It's
Maybe next time,
amazing.
guys. Maybe next time.
All right.
All
Okay.
right.
Now on the topic of hiring, I guess to cap it off, I can add recently. My art
Sure.
director slash boss. Actually, he's more of the creative director. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was ranting because I understand both sides. So I guess this is to help out younger people.
Sure.
When
Yep.
you're applying, you're there to get a job. You're there to offer your service. So
Hmm.
this young artist sent in an application full of questions like, what's the salary? What are the working hours? Are there benefits?
Ah. Yeah.
She never put any link for her portfolio, and our art director was like, "I
Oh
hate young
man.
people. They never. There is no art. There's no portfolio. There's no link. Like, okay,
Yeah.
sure. I get it because some people have this mindset. The younger ones are like, okay, I'm not gonna waste my time if the salary isn't up to my standard because I know I'm good or something like that. But I need to know first if it's worth the hassle of the artist or something like that.
Mm.
Unfortunately, I think for the business side, the studios are the ones that are hiring, and you're there looking for a job.
Hmm.
So a bit of humble pie goes a long way, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I understand that mindset that I don't. Time is precious. Like if this is gonna lowball me, I'm not gonna waste my time. So
Yeah.
might as well send your portfolio, like what you said. Like sometimes when they send in applications, the portfolio link is broken, or sometimes not even there. So
Yeah. Yeah.
you gotta understand you're there to offer a service. So I think
Right.
that's it for me.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Also,
funny.
just
I was
yeah,
laughing.
yeah. That's pretty strange, right? Like you ask of that. Now, guys, this is just to add a little bit on the knowledge that Justin mentioned there. Okay. Yes, please include a working link in your portfolio, and also about the asking salary expectations. This is a tip that I've learned from recruiters and whatnot. Okay. um, you know, if you have a solid portfolio, and then you have a very good impression, and let's say you've done the art test, okay, um, from there, that's when you negotiate with your rates. Now, when you have a good portfolio, you can actually negotiate with your rates there. Okay, for example, they would say, "Oh, you know what? Let's say this X amount will be your salary." You can say, "Oh, maybe can we make it like maybe 20% higher because this and that and this some few reasons because your portfolio shows the value of your relevance." Okay, because like yeah, like what I've said, this is a our industry is a great equalizer. You don't need any diplomas. You don't need no fancy CV showing that you're passionate about some stuff. Okay, you show your passion in your portfolio, and there, yeah. So just to finally like cut off those portfolios. But if you guys later would want to ask us about portfolio and some things, we're open for that. Just yeah. Okay, so cool. Hopefully that's helpful to anyone right there. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Again, so Raymond mentioned Musings Art Academy. You can go to
Sure.
the website to view their courses at musingsacad.com. Okay,
Thanks so much.
and
Yeah.
you can also check out Brushpoint if you want another community. So those are two options for you. All right.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
one of the
Brushpoint. Yeah, Brushpoint. Check them out. They're cool people, and they do some art contests as well. And yeah, guys, the more we are in this industry, I think the better. Okay, so there. And guys, we're friends. Okay, we're all friends. We're exchanging notes. Okay, so we're cool people. Yeah. All right.
we
Okay.
lift each other up here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what
No,
we do.
no pulling
No, no, no,
down.
no, 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 no. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Okay, let's not
The
do that.
world's already crusty right now. It doesn't need
Yeah,
any more
man.
than negative.
Yeah, for all
Now,
those like gatekeepers and all that stuff,
uh-huh.
we don't want that shit. Okay,
No, we don't
yeah,
want that here. Now,
yeah.
dude, this is perfect because I know this is perfect for the next portion because there's a
Sure,
lot
sure.
of frustration going around now, a lot of negative
Yeah,
juju
sure.
in relation to the current state of affairs in our gaming industry.
Hmm.
Now, dude, I gotta ask you, do
Yeah,
you
sure.
need to like squeeze a lemon or something, potty break? Because we're gonna get existential right
Yeah,
now.
sure. Yeah, sure. Let's do a like quick 2 minutes break. I'm just gonna
Okay.
get some water and we can come back in here. Yeah. All
Okay,
right,
yeah,
guys,
yeah.
please stay tuned. We're gonna do some more cool stuff. Okay. All right.
I'm gonna keep them warm. I'm gonna crack some
Okay.
jokes while they're
I'll be
gone.
back.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
All right. All right, guys. So, in case you missed it, Musings Art Academy has a website and they offer courses of Foundations 1 and 2. You can check them out at Musings Art Academy. Sorry, musingsacad.com. Okay? Or you can just Google Musings Art Academy. So, you can search up that course, search up that website of theirs. And they have other courses as well. But I know Sir Raymond's one of the head instructors there. I know he also offers mentorships. So those are more tailor fit to everyone's needs. So you guys are free to reach out to him in the actually in Instagram or in other websites, other social medias he's posted on his website. I think his website is Red. Please put these links in the chat. RaymondT10.com. That's his website. You can check out his body of work, how to reach him, what he's up to. So check those out. And for Brushpoint, please don't forget we have monthly workshops. We have other exciting stuff because recently we've been uploading uh, this season's podcast. We've been doing podcasts again after so long. So stay tuned for this month's live session, which is happening next Friday, I believe. So yeah, yeah. No, we're not done yet. Raymond's squeezing the lemon. So yeah, Patricia, we're not done yet. We can't end. I mean, I know we were pretty uplifting there, but it's only starting. We got you guys. I hope you guys are enjoying. Please ready the questions. We have Q&A after in the last 15 or so minutes. Okay. But we also have questions sent over to Raymond. They DM'd him. I think he ran a poll or a Q&A in his Instagram. So I have the questions right here. We're gonna prioritize those first. So there are like 6 questions. But for other people here in the audience, you are free to pop them in. And we can't guarantee we can get through everyone, but you never know, right? And if there's something you really want to ask, shoot your shot. Or again, feel free to DM him. He's very, very accommodating. Like we're like Facebook friends right now. And speak of the devil, he shall appear. We are back.
All
Hey
right.
man,
Hey, man.
got them
Sorry.
warmed up for you.
All
Yeah,
right.
told them my famous joke.
Okay. I have to listen to the replay for that joke. I
No, I'm
have
just kidding. I
to.
did say a joke because last time I did, they got really angry. So
Oh, damn.
yeah, it's a horrible joke.
All right.
Yeah. Wait, let me get a sip of water. I was
Yeah,
talking
sure.
nonstop for two,
Yeah, yeah,
two
yeah.
minutes.
Carry on, buddy. Guys, sorry, I'm not. We're not. I'm not seeing the questions here, but later on we're gonna tackle that. I'm sure we're gonna tackle
No,
that
I'll
later on.
throw them on your way. Don't worry, man. All
Thank you
right.
so much. Thank you so much.
I told
Again,
them
guys,
to.
thanks for
Yeah.
staying in with us. Okay. Right.
Oh, I told them we're gonna get spicy. I know we ended on a high
Yeah.
note, but if we're only
Yeah.
just starting here at Brushpoint, we
One
got you
time,
guys.
guys, we're gonna do like a Brushpoint X Musings session.
Let's go.
So yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. Let's make it cool. Let's make it good. Right.
So stay tuned. Hit
Yep.
that bell button. Subscribe.
Sure, guys. Yes. Yes, please. Yes, please. Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
Now, so before that break, we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
get very existential. So there's a lot
Sure.
of frustration going on right now. It's no
Mm-hmm.
secret that there's a lot of layoffs. Just recently in the country, I've heard horrible news about 2 studios here that they had to
Really?
let go of people. Yeah, yeah.
Man,
These
so
are
unfortunate. Yeah.
yeah, and they handled great projects. Like there's this
Triple
one
A
studio.
stuff.
Yeah, dude, we're talking box office hits
Okay.
here.
Right.
They
Right.
won awards, but they had to lay off people. So unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
it's a business.
Mm-hmm.
So man, I found this one message you sent to an artist, and it really hit me in the heartstrings. So I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
read it. Like, okay, you gave this one piece of advice: never give up when your passion is strong. You can never go wrong. Keep that dream alive. Dreams shed light on the dim places where reason itself has yet to voyage. And those are some bars right there, Raymond. Yeah, so let's use that.
Oh man. All right.
Let's use that to frame our next portion. Because right
Sure.
now,
Yeah.
There's not a
Yeah.
lot of light going on. It's pretty dark. Uh,
Mm.
there
Yeah.
are some people who are getting disenchanted with the art
Hmm.
industry.
Sure.
I like what you said a while ago. Like we have to take that into consideration. But
Yes.
in an
Yes.
ideal situation where the industry isn't being at risk of being run by robots,
Hmm.
where skill rises above all,
Hmm.
that's how it would go. But we have other things to key into right now.
Hmm.
There's a lot of companies that have frozen hiring. There's a lot of companies that
Yes.
have laid people off because they're integrating AI. And because
Mm.
AI is gonna take the entry level stuff out.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I
what
have
you
my thoughts
said,
on that later. I'll share my
okay,
thoughts on that. Yeah, but please carry on. Please carry on. Carry on, please.
okay. Okay. But I like what you said because again, what uh, I'm stuttering because I'm feeling your coffee, man. Oh, I drank Vietnamese coffee. Okay, so
There we go. Hey guys,
okay,
we have to
so
sponsor Justin some coffee, yeah.
oh
So
yeah, dude, I like it black. You can
yeah,
never go
yeah,
back
yeah,
after
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, but going back, um, again, what you said about AI can't design, can't problem solve, can't design think. Okay, that's
Hmm.
what we have on top of it as of now. Okay,
Sure, yeah.
but as a sad reality, people need to eat. They can't get kicked out of where they're staying. I'm renting, so right now, and I know that struggle. It's my first time renting
It's
for
good.
like three
It's good.
months.
That's good.
Some people have families to feed.
Sure,
Some
yeah.
people got laid off out of nowhere and
Mm.
they can't find a job because, again, I asked us earlier on to bookmark the word opportunity. Opportunity is pretty scarce right now.
Mm.
So, how would artists in this current cycle of the art industry,
Hmm.
how can they weather out this part in our economy, I guess? Because they
Sure.
have to be real. At some point, they
Yeah.
have to eat. They have to earn. Some artists have considered shifting careers.
Giving
There's nothing
up.
wrong with that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or some are like hurt that they're giving it their all, and you can see that their talent and their skill isn't an issue. Like for
Mm.
sure they can get a job. The problem is there aren't a lot of paying opportunities again because of a lot of
Layoffs
economic
and yeah.
factors. Yeah,
Mm.
the invisible hand of economy. Okay,
Sure.
so
Sure.
what would be another mindset that they can adapt?
Hmm.
Because in our podcast episode a few weeks ago, we talked about being real. Like get your priorities straight. If you're gonna
Right.
get kicked out or evicted, you gotta get a job. If it's not art, if you can get something in art, maybe do something. For you just need to survive. You can't do art if you're starving or when you're dead. So you gotta
Yeah.
be real. Like we went down that hole last time.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's kind of heavy. So for
Yeah.
from your perspective, you're already
Hmm.
you already have the mileage. You have the
Hmm.
track record.
Hmm.
You've worked with Ubisoft, Bethesda. Okay, so I don't think that's an issue for you. But what would you tell students right now who have that anxiety? Or not doesn't have to be students. What if they're juniors or
Cheers.
seniors
Yes.
find a job
Yes.
right now? Yeah.
Yeah. It's so unfortunate as well. Like I've been seeing all of this even in LinkedIn. So just so you guys know, the Ubisoft studio that I worked on in the UK right now is closed. So it's Ubisoft Leamington. That's where I've worked. Although it's not really like it's kind of like a little bit vague area because Ubisoft Leamington is just
Oh, it's
somehow
Leamington. I thought this
yeah.
was Leamington.
No, no, oh yeah. Ubisoft
Okay.
Leamington, and it's working alongside Ubisoft Reflections. But really, we're just a big studio, just separated together. So that studio right now doesn't exist. Guys, I'm going to answer this question, maybe a long-winded answer, but coming from my experiences and also what I can suggest moving forward with this scenario. Okay. Now, first off, I feel like again you have to be proactive in the situation. So whatever may happen, so always look at the not the bright side, but think of um, what you can do that that you think would better the situation. I think that's one of which. Okay, but let me answer this one quickly here. Now, I think bottom line, I think the industry is not going away. Okay, the industry is not going away, but we have to accept that the industry evolves. Okay, the industry evolves. This has been there for quite some time, but if we think about the pattern, this is like the pattern here. Okay, now just so you guys know, I'm also part of. I'm one of the artists who experienced layoffs. Okay, so remember the job that I was talking to you guys about in Singapore, my first gig. I got laid off there. Okay, I got laid off. Yeah, because this was the time wherein, um, so it's like, if you guys remember during the pandemic, okay, during the pandemic, this was a craze when a lot of people are of course indoors. We can't do outdoor activities. Yeah, so I think that's when, from in my understanding, right, a lot of like game companies bought other companies. So when they kind of merge together, there's a lot of course, money, investments, and all that stuff. And of course, they've hired people. They ramped up. Okay, they ramped up people. And right now, maybe things are going back to normal. I don't know. Maybe it's mishandling. I don't really have a concrete idea about what has happened. Okay, so let's just make do with what we have currently. So back when in 2013, this same thing happened. This was a craze of mobile games, mobile games. So
Oh,
this was like in like Apple and Android. So I worked in a mobile game studio. Now, our mobile game, the first game that we worked on, so it's like a just so you guys know, I've worked on some cute casual games in the beginning. So there I worked
like
on that.
me.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, man. So there. Now I've worked on that, and fortunately, those two things that we did bring in a little bit of cash, and then the stuff that later on that we did, which is my first take on actual real concept art. So it was like very close to Monster Hunter. So I was doing mostly line works and learning textures and all of that. And the our studio closed down. Okay, so I was part of the guys that's been laid off. Now, um, I think at that time it's a peak of mobile game, and then it went down. And then what happened was this is the peak of AAA production. Okay, so this is when after that you see like a lot of console games came up like Uncharted, Naughty Dog, Sony Santa Monica, and of course Ubisoft. They've been and around. Okay, now right now maybe we're experiencing another let's say uh, another change in this industry, but I feel like as it's not going away, it will level up our ability as an artist. Okay, I don't believe that AI is gonna take over because eventually, of course, we are still um, the one that's art directing the AI. When we use it. Okay, so just so you guys know, I don't want to sugarcoat anything. Hold on a second, let me take a sip of water.
It's just getting
Like,
spicy.
yeah, um, even in our school, because what I do is that every quarter I try to talk to my former art directors, my students who has graduated in my school, and then working in the industry. I'm asking them what's currently out there, what if they have been doing. Okay, some of them they don't use AI as part of the pipeline. Some of them are using AI. Okay, even when I do freelance. Okay, even in my last freelance I even signed some kind of contract that, hey, you can use AI, we don't mind all that stuff, but I told them that I don't use it. Okay, now um, I think AI will be part of the pipeline. Okay, but let me make this one quite lengthy. Okay, it will be part of the pipeline because it will be helpful for ideation during production. Okay, you might say, "Hey, aren't you're not pro-human?" No, I'm pro-human. It's because like as the industry evolves, okay, I think we should evolve as well as our skills. Like say if you think about it, ZBrush and 3D at that time, back in 2014, 2013, everyone was saying that 2D is gonna go away. But here we are right now. Justin is doing 2D. I am still doing 2D. and but 3D has become an integral part of our work. Okay, now I think as AI will be could be part of that too, because again I'm speaking to my art directors and my students. If I would try to right now, some of my team are learning these AI pipeline that can be combined together with Unreal and many techniques that I've seen, when I'm freelancing and all that stuff. Because I don't want any of my students left behind, okay, with what's out there. Now, again, this is not me saying that AI will replace you. What I'm saying here is that as we part of the pipeline, and it's like every automation that we encounter seems like the world's going to end, but it's not really. Now, again, I'm sorry this one's a long-winded answer, but if you guys remember, again, back in the day, people can't afford bread because wheat is so expensive. But when they've kind of have it automated like a machine, everyone's saying, "Oh, they're gonna get our jobs." So everyone in farming has like less people, and we have cheaper wheat, and that's why everyone right now has bread. So everyone has transitioned to a different job. Okay, now again, moving forward, back um, in the like industrial age, say, oh, you know what, we have electricity right now. What's going to happen with those people, turning on the lamps, lighting it up, if they ran out of jobs? But electricity made things convenient, and it's again, it's much more easier. Now I feel like for this one, this is a perfect opportunity for you to be multidimensional as an artist. Okay, like say for example, if let's say Justin would say, "Oh, you know what, AI would replace me." If that's the mindset there, yeah, maybe you can be replaced if you're doing some stuff that AI can do. But let's say Justin thought that, hey, I'm going to be an artist who's not one dimensional. So, for example, maybe Justin would do a project and he's going to write his own story and create his own illustrated book. Okay. Now, if you think about that, you've evolved as a creator and you're offering your stories that you would want to tell. And who knows if you're going to be like a stellar author that you can make more money doing that. And I think it's more fun creating something for your own. Now, let's say, for example, let's say, oh, what about me? I don't have any of those story telling skills. Now, I have a good friend. Well, actually, we're always like bantering online, but I seem like we're in good terms. Leo Vero is such a good concept artist. He's a concept artist and art director in One Pixel Brush, and right now he has transitioned into first he's making his own short films, and right now he has a game studio. They're building their own games. So I think as the industry evolves, we should evolve too and level up our skill set. So if the mindset would be like, oh, they're gonna take our jobs, yeah, could be. But if you look at it from this perspective, we're in um, if I'm going to design something that is very let's say design heavy, and the engineering, the thinking part behind it is in depth, then I feel like AI won't replace you sooner or later. Now about the existential question right there, okay, about like what I said earlier about the defeatist mind state, a state of mind or something like that. Okay, um, right now maybe the industry is not in the right in the best shape, but this is just my observation. Yeah. Okay. So I've been seeing right now layoffs, but I've been seeing many hirings right now. In fact, guys, this is just me, just telling the truth. Okay. I have this year I have 4 graduates in Musings. Unfortunately, they're not Filipinos. Okay. Uh, so they got hired. Okay, this year. Okay, this year. Now, um, I think you can get jobs, but you have to level up your portfolio into something that has, again, it's not shallow on design or very good on some aspects that AI can't do. I think that's really the main idea. And plus about the existential thing, like it's so hard to answer that. Like, of course, if you can't get jobs and you have family to feed or rent is coming up, okay, that's it's quite difficult. But um, I take it as an opportunity to explore other aspects, like for example, if let's say you can't get jobs, then yeah, maybe for now just take some breaks and uh, recalibrate what skills you're going to develop. The reason why that I feel like if you think about it that way, we're in okay, um, like there's no way of getting around this, and it might be difficult. But I'm seeing right now that the industry is coming back up again. Okay, I'm seeing it right now because again, studios are hiring. Okay, and I can see some of my students get hired, and I'm seeing jobs out there that's opening up. Okay, I'm seeing this in LinkedIn. You can search in ArtStation. Okay, and sometimes like really for all those stuff that I know some art directors are asking, hey, do you know an artist? Maybe we can hire. They're just they haven't really posted it yet, but there's still jobs coming out there. And plus, the more that we see content out there that's coming up, it means that the industry is still healthy. Like, look, when Ubisoft created Assassin's Creed Shadow, I'm sure that would give revenue, and then they would hire people. The Ghost of Yote coming up, okay, they would hire some people once that one comes up because it's gonna make some money. Now, right now, Switch is coming huge, so I feel like that can open another branch of the industry, okay, which can open new doors, okay, and I have and also like a lot of streaming platforms like Hulu, Netflix. I've been seeing even my students getting hired with these small indie productions. Now, what I feel like it's the best time right now. If you feel like, oh, this industry is not in a good shape, should I give up on it? Okay, I feel like this is the right time for you to build your
Yeah,
portfolio. Okay, right time, and because people ask me like, hey man, you've started a school and the industry is not in a good shape. Yeah, but you don't want to apply when the industry is peak there because you don't want to
there you
ride the
go.
wave. You don't want to ride the wave when it's coming up in there because I feel like it's there. It comes in waves, and right now I think we're on the ascend. So this is the perfect time for you to build your portfolio. You know, like level up and again build your rapport. Maybe you can take like, some small freelance jobs. Okay, and then once you're prepared for it, I think the opportunity will arise over there. I think the industry is not going to go away. But of course, the tools might change. Maybe some studios might encourage you to use AI, or some studios might ask you if you're multi skilled. Like, for example, again, like say in Justin's case, for example, Justin might be interested in storytelling. Like, why not in his portfolio instead of just characters, environments, and prowess? Maybe you can show like, hey, I can do storyboards as well. Okay, for games or whatever. Okay, that can be another facet of your game. Or maybe you can do animated concepts. Right now, dude, you can't make any excuses. Blender is so easy to learn. You can even look at YouTube and all that stuff and learn some fancy animation stuff. Okay, everything is out there, and that's why I feel like this is the best time for you to not as the industry evolves, think of yourself as an artist going to evolve as well. You're going to level up. Again, that's my state of mind there. Okay, now again, if you're part of the people who got laid off, okay, it's unfortunate. My heart goes out to you, but I feel like this is the right time for you to level up your and recalibrate your skills. I think so. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
Oh,
Another Mike Tyson quote for
yeah,
me.
Mike Tyson, baby. Yeah,
Dude, I
yeah.
love Mike Tyson. He's my favorite. I mean, of course, Pacquiao's up there, but Mike Tyson's my favorite heavyweight of all time.
Damn, man.
And,
Yeah, he's.
and then there's Ali.
Oh
On the
shit.
top, we're
Speed,
getting
speed kills.
off
Yeah, speed
tangent.
kills. Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I like what you said about it's the perfect time to be multidimensional and explore
Mhm.
other things because maybe, for example, uh, you want to do mobile games, but there's plenty more opportunities for AAA or animation, but not
Sure.
mobile games. So why not try that? Like I've
Mhm.
seen some artists who are very adamant in staying in one field of art,
Mhm.
but then like I want to also say that if you're skilled enough to transition to other fields, like why not, right? Like
Mm.
you're getting offers there. Like why not
Yeah.
give it a shot? No, I
Yeah.
want to stay in this field because this is what I'm really passionate about. But you need the money. So again, there's that eternal back and forth about like
Sure.
being real and like being multidimensional. You know,
Yeah.
you can still be a well-rounded artist. Again, that's everyone's journey is different. But I like what you
Yeah.
said. Thank you very
Yeah.
much for that.
Also, guys, like there are many avenues out there. So let me give you a few instances,
Oh,
right?
please. Okay.
So I have students. I have a student who's he's from the states. He's from LA, and um, after finishing our mentorship, okay, and also our classes, he can't find any jobs. Okay, but then thankfully he tried out applying for this like YouTube content creator who does history documentaries. He became the concept artist and matte painter on those on those content, and he gets paid doing that. Now, in in our school in Musings, that's why we offer foundations like foundations in drawing and design to draw anything you can imagine. So we're gonna train any of your foundations, okay, or maybe in painting. But for drawing, we have students who just apply there not because they want to become concept artists. They would want to sharpen their foundation because they want to get into comic book making. So you can transition into that. I have friends who does like Patreon. Okay, Patreon. If you have some distinct art style, or you can transition into those fields. Who like who knows what's gonna happen? It's I think the real pleasure, like just so you guys are in this industry, of course, loving what you do, but really innately as a creator, I think you're gonna fall in love more and doing your stuff. Okay, so like you can ask anybody here. If let's say, oh, you know what, Sony's gonna pay you X amount of dollars, and let's say, what if someone's gonna pay X amount of dollars just doing your own thing? I think most people would do their own thing. So I feel like if this would be the time for you to do that, then do it, man. So I think it's good. Yeah.
Mhm. I think this is a perfect time to transition to Q&A.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, no
Yes.
worries, no worries. Okay, Q&A. All right, cool, cool. All right,
Again,
there we
thank you
go.
for those. Yeah,
Mhm.
those were pretty juicy, guys. So I hope you took down notes, especially existentialist people out there like me. So
Sure.
it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
the end.
No, no,
Like,
it's not the end. It's not the end.
what
Okay.
did John Lennon say? Like everything has to be good. If it's not good, it's not the end, or something like that.
Right, right, right,
Yeah.
right. That's
Who are
cool.
we to argue the Beatles?
Oh
All right,
man. Yeah, yeah.
let's
Okay.
ask. I have one here from the people who sent you questions.
Oh sure. Yeah, sure.
Have you
Let's see.
ever gotten tired of doing concept art? I kind of worry I might hate art if it becomes a job. I think it's kind of related to our last, like the topic we were just talking
Yes,
about, like
yes,
being
yeah,
multidimensional. So yeah, how do
yeah.
you want to answer
Cool.
this?
All right. So to answer that question, maybe you guys have seen me doing some comic book looking stuff. You know, my like
The
the
runts.
runs. Yes, that one. Okay.
Someone's
So
asking when's it coming out.
oh yeah. Okay, we're gonna do that later. Okay. So
Okay,
yep. All
stay
right.
tuned.
Cool. Um, so this was like going back to what Justin has said about existentialism. Okay. You know, when I was doing concept art, I'm not saying that I'm the best of the best, yeah. But you know, when I started, okay, I started with some humble inspiration, with my mom taking me to the cinema and we watched Star Wars together, okay. And I thought that it would be cool that you know when I was younger, when we watched Star Wars, it would be cool that hey, I've worked on that, you know. So that's the goal. And also I liked Assassin's Creed, so the goal would be to work on Ubisoft and all that stuff.
Ah, yeah.
But I've gotten there. Now I'm not saying that I've gotten there. So what else to look at? Okay, I'm not that, but it's more like I'm having a maybe some kind of a creative saturation point. Okay, wherein I'm thinking like what's next, you know. So it's more like an existential question. So I what I did is that I try to explore the things that I'm really happy to do, like say because I've seen this like when you do concept art, sometimes you can't tell who did who, right? Because
Uh-huh.
everything seems the same. So I tried to like really dive into my influences, like you know the '90s anime. I like that, and you know. I love watching Pinoy action movies. I know it's maybe it's a trope, but I like watching those things. That's like the black exploitation in the states. So it's very similar to that. But anyway, now I tried doing that, and you know what? I think the recognition that I've gained in this industry is not really on those stuff that I did on Star Wars, the Division Two, and all that stuff, but really on my personal work. So I think if that's not for you, then build something of your own. Because I think right now having your own visual identity is important. Okay, now, not to say that, of course, we cater to an industry like, say, we do photo bashing, 3D, all that concept juice, and all that thing. But when you create something of your own, like, say, you look at Justin's work and you would say, "Oh, that's Justin's work." I think there's value to it, and plus, of course, the money is good there too because you're the only person who can do it. Okay, and trust me, guys, like in while working on those concept for the runs, I've had like I even have like jobs that's asking me to do it. Okay, like, hey, with that style, and would it be cool to create something of your own? Like you can see, like many artists like that. Frazetta has a very unique style. What else? Maybe Todd McFarlane has a unique style. Everybody has, even Melgo has a unique style in which the Spider Verse has built upon.
Correct.
You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, have a good voice identity. If you feel like this industry is not for you, then keep creating something that you love. Okay, guys, if you read the Shortness of Life by Epictetus, the pursuing a meaningful endeavor and doing it well. That's really what's it about. Okay, so if you feel like that's meaningful for you, then please do it well. Okay, so there. Okay, cool. All right, so
Cool.
there. Hopefully that answers it. Okay.
Actually,
All
you
right.
kind of answered two questions, maybe
Oh,
three.
sure. All right.
Okay.
Cool.
I'm trying to condense this. So for the listeners here, I have like a list of questions sent to Raymond ahead of time. I will try to get to the live chat questions. Okay. So
Sure.
I'm sorry if I can't answer your
No,
question.
we can
I can
no,
call
but
out the question.
let's bounce out on the live chat as well. No problem. Okay, no problem. Let's
Okay.
go with that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Here's one. I think my response in your story was cut. Uh, but here's what I want to ask, Raymond. Do you think the Philippines is lagging behind its neighboring Southeast Asian countries in terms of concept art opportunities? It seems like there are more opportunities in other regions. Thank you.
All right,
Uh,
Justin, what's your take on this, please?
Whew.
Because
Well, I
you're
just
currently active, so there.
I'm in the field. Yeah, I'm in
Yeah,
street
yeah, yeah,
level.
yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah, yeah.
currently Avengers level threats.
No,
You
no,
know,
no,
I'm in street level.
no. I mean, you're there right now. I'm semi-retired, so
Okay.
I'm not Avengers level. Okay, so carry on, please. Carry on.
Well, as someone, well, I'm working remote,
There.
but we
Yes.
have majority Filipinos in the studio.
There you
Um,
go.
what I can say, like I said earlier, there's like two big studios that laid off right now. So we we kind of lost two studios. That's two less options, right? But
Sure.
we're still ripe with talent. I still hear people getting gigs, getting remote jobs for studios not in the country.
Hmm.
But if you're asking about the Philippines itself, ooh, I don't think I have enough dog years in me yet because
Hmm.
I've only had like more than 2 years working. And again, my first job in the game industry is remote already. So
Hmm.
I'm privileged.
Right.
I'm saying
Right.
my privilege right now. I didn't have to like work local yet. I should. I'm
Hmm.
working on that. But my first job was actually in graphic design for three
Damn.
years in the
Oh, that's
graphic design
hard,
agency.
guys. That's hard. That's
Was
hard. Yeah, that's
graphic
hard.
design is my prison was my prison. I got out. I broke out. So
Good. Good for
again,
you.
to answer that question, I've been hearing some stuff, and I don't think we're lagging. Though I have been hearing how Malaysians and Thailanders and Vietnamese people, studios, they're kind of kicking. They're kind of getting good gigs too, and the
Mm,
artists are they're
yeah.
nasty in a good way. They're eating the competition up. So
Yeah.
I guess we can look at that as an opportunity to get good. You know,
Hmm.
competition's great. It
Sure.
pushes you, right?
Yep.
But
Yep.
in terms of lagging behind, I think we're finally catching up. We have Magic the Gathering artists from this country. I
Yes.
know of
Yes.
Brian
Yeah.
Velez, Sir Tots,
Yeah.
Justin
Sure.
Cruz,
Yeah.
and that's huge, right? So I don't think we're lagging behind. We're catching
Mhm.
up, but we're not. I don't think personally. I don't think we're
We're not
in like
spearheading, right? We're
we're
not
not
spearheading.
spearheading.
No.
No, no.
Yeah. Um, like what Justin has said, like he's currently working remotely. Now I feel like the globalization of studios would be more apparent. Like I know many artists who's working remotely. Like some of them are employed by employees from the states or in Poland, different regions. But that's not to say that maybe here in the Philippines there's not much concept art opportunities. Um, Look, uh, we can say that we don't have it. We don't have much here. But I was talking to my students who's from Indonesia, and they have some studios there. But they said to me that, hey, but we don't have Ubisoft here. Okay, so that could be one of our advantage. But when it comes to studios, the thing is that I don't think there are much game studios here. Remember before? I think they have Game Loft over here. I don't know what happened there.
I don't
Uh,
think any. Oh, I could be wrong because I could have sworn some Brushpoint people worked in Gameloft. I'm not sure if they're still there,
sure,
but
I'm
yeah,
not sure.
I think at one point we had.
Yeah, we had Game Loft,
Yeah,
and uh, well, for opportunities, well, we let's just make do of what we have. Yeah, maybe I think lagging about we're not lagging about talents. Okay, we talk about talents. I think we're not lagging. I think what we're lagging would be we have like less opportunities for maybe studio work, but not what I'm talking about. Studio work would be, let's say, AAA level studio work, or um,
we have a
I
lot of mobile game and
there, yeah, there could
slot
be like
games.
so
Yeah,
that could be it. Sorry, I'm not too aware of it. Yes, I think in that portion, yeah, maybe this one is like slightly on point. Although about concept art opportunities, mm, I think it starts first with well, it goes hand in hand, right? Opportunities and then education. I'm not so sure about. I think in education we don't have. Of course, I think we're only the one who's
I can say we're lagging behind in education for concept art, and
there. Yes.
I came. I took a different course.
Yeah, there we go. But yes, but I think it goes hand in hand. Opportunities and education. What I believe that they should do here is that they should start creating high quality level concepts, or maybe some viz dev stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, and then start a studio from there. Because I feel like there's a lot of opportunities out there. Like I know from in Thailand they have a lot of animation companies
yeah.
over there as well. Malaysia has it. I don't know why we don't have that as much. Okay, so I don't really know, but yeah, maybe this is partly correct. But talent wise, I could say we're not lagging. Okay, so yeah, like what Justina said, we have many illustrators here, but concept art. Most of the good guys that I know are not here. Okay, they're not here. Okay, but they you can stay here when you work remotely. Yeah, so there, that's the reason why I came back here. So I feel like it's a good opportunity to share what I know while I'm still relevant. So there, yeah, partly for this answer. Hopefully that sorry, I keep like running around in circles.
Oh, dude, I was doing the same. It's the Vietnamese coffee. All right,
We'll get Justin a proper coffee next time. Okay,
man.
we gotta
All
get him
right.
something proper. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for the
All
answer.
right. Sure.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Some of these questions were kind of answered, I think,
Let me. Can I
gracefully
ask you
by you.
one question before we go over there? Okay.
Okay.
So Justin, because this is often being asked by some of my students, right? Because you've worked on graphic design, right? As a
Unfortunately,
professional. Okay, guys, he says unfortunately, but dude, I was wondering about what are the advantages that you felt that you have when you have the skill set of graphic design that has transferred in your current work right now. Okay.
okay, I like that. I'm gonna try to condense it and not talk so much because I'm a Gemini. C- So I think transferred greatly was my communication because again, graphic design is design thinking, problem solving.
Mm, yeah.
So I may not be designing packaging, logos, and branding anymore. Now I'm designing props or levels. Right now I'm designing mini games,
Right,
and I've
right,
also
right.
I may not be designing characters or costumes, but I'm still designing, so to speak. So that way of thinking and being curious, I never lost my curiosity. And I guess
It's good.
not to toot my own horn, but my
Hmm.
art director always said that about me. Like Justin likes to tinker and likes to dig deep into it. That's why he makes me come up with like our art slide Bible thing because I
Okay,
take
right.
note of all of that. Yeah. So again, that curiosity transferred. Another thing, because the place I used to work in, we worked with Americans,
Sure.
Asians. We worked with a lot of foreign people, so all
Hmm.
English. I got to a point where I was client facing. Oh, that's a corporate term. I'm getting
Oh man,
so,
damn.
anyways,
With
so
a
I was
bomb.
talking with the yeah, dude. I was so comfortable talking with these white people. So they gave
Oh,
a race drop, and I was talking with Chinese people too. There are
right, right.
different ways in how you engage that because
Yes.
sometimes when this race says simple, it's actually not a good thing. It means not do make it better. Okay, so I was
Ah,
sensitive to that. So I think that transferred to my speaking because I really think I was able to talk my way into this job. I don't. One day I wanna ask my director, like, dude, did I just weasel my way in? Because my portfolio wasn't the best, but
being
I think I
modest.
was like
Right.
what you said. Sometimes the right packaging or this or slide
Yeah, right, right,
presentation
right.
can save a bad drawing. I
Yeah.
think that's my portfolio, the way I package myself. Again, graphic design. I use that. So there we go. I hope that was very compact.
All right, guys. That's because some of my students are former graphic designers, and I told them that I think there's somewhere in there, maybe your recognition of shapes, being organized about your presentation.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
hierarchy, text hierarchy. Oh, especially I do a lot of UI stuff for work. Again,
Oh
multiple hats
shit.
because it's
Okay.
interview.
There.
That never went away. Typography also
Oh
saved
yeah.
me as a
Okay.
graphic designer. I love
There we go.
typography. I may not
Yeah.
be updated right now, but hierarchy, especially with colors,
Mm.
there's primary, secondary, tertiary. We have that in games as well.
Yeah.
Big
Sure.
big news. But what was different in graphic design, everything's loose. Not really loose, but we have room to breathe. Like I had this problem back then where everything was bunched up together, and my professors in college would say like, "Give them room to breathe." I can't, especially with like the kerning and leading.
All
Give
right.
them room to breathe.
Uh,
Now, I had to do a couple of logos for a studio, and what I had to reverse my school of thinking because I spaced everything out. And then my boss was like, "Justin, everything's too far apart. Put them in together because they're gonna lose association." Why? Because again, the viewport on our phones, for example, or on the screen, is narrow because we have other elements in the game. In graphic design
I
or
see. I see.
websites, we have other assets, so it's okay to space out. But for games, you need to keep everything compact in the safe zone, so to speak,
All
right?
right. 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 Yes.
So it
Yeah.
was way different. So I had to plug that way of thinking differently. So I hope
Yeah.
that helped.
Yeah, man. Just to quickly jump into that about graphic design. You know, guys, when the Star Wars gig that I had started with graphic design and UI. So yeah, yeah. When
Good.
I was yeah when we were working on Virtuous, that's when we got work for Star Wars, and that time we were only tasked to do like UI. Okay, and we did a good job there. And one director says, "Hey, can you put this on this particular environment or so?" So we put in there. Now I'm not graphic design by trade, but I tried my hand on graphic design, but I'm not a professional. I just dabble with it a little bit, and we put in that environment and they say, hey, can you add a little bit of color? So we add a little bit of color, and then thankfully they say, hey, can you do some concepts? And there we go. But anyway, just to touch upon graphic design is like again super such a good skill to learn as well. Yeah, cool. All right,
All right.
so anything else? Okay,
Yeah, we
dude, thanks
got a
for
couple
answering that.
more.
Right, appreciate that.
Oh, thanks for asking.
Appreciate that.
Not often do I get to talk about that dark history in my
Oh,
career.
dark history.
All right. Oh,
Right.
we have a question from Webstein. Hey, Webstein, good to hear
Hey,
from you again.
buddy. There we go.
Once you have some portfolio work, how would you go about applying for freelance gigs as a junior level concept artist? Should you just cold email or reach out to people on LinkedIn? So, in case you missed it earlier, we talked about like what Raymond wants to see more in a junior and a senior portfolio.
Hmm.
So, I think he's asking more about the process itself. Okay, so
Yeah,
how do you do this?
sure.
Do you
About
cold call, cold
cold
email?
call,
Sorry.
maybe. Yeah, yeah. Cold call, cold email. Back in my day, the cold call is valid.
Uh huh. Yeah.
Right now, cold email. Websign, dude, how are you? Hope you're doing okay. Websign is currently our students in Musings, and he's also part of Brushpoint community. So there we go, the perfect blend. Okay, now, dude, I would suggest if s- be active in LinkedIn. Some studios post in there that they're looking for concept artists, so maybe be active in posting in there. And in ArtStation, they have some art contest. Maybe participate in that, so people would see some visibility on your work. And once you but to get work, just build your portfolio, not cold email, but send an email to an application. So you can apply some speculative application if they don't have any hiring opportunities for the moment. They might consider you because sometimes like we've hired people like that. There's no speculative application, but this person applied and we thought, hey, why not hire this person, because later on maybe we would need some junior. So who knows? Yeah. Plus you're not gonna lose anything. Okay, you're just gonna apply on some stuff. So who knows what that opportunity could come up. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay. I think we got time for just two more
Two
questions.
more
So,
questions. Yeah, sure, sure,
all right, guys, we're gonna wrap up the show in a bit. So send them in. I got one from your pool of questions you sent
sure.
over.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Because someone asked earlier about a niche and Red answered it. Thank you, Red. That was really a nice answer. But
Mm.
this one kind of expands on that. Is it niche, niche? I think it's
Niche. I don't
niche.
know. No
Yeah,
niche.
man. Okay, okay, let's say niche right now.
Yeah, just don't go
So
Nietzsche
this
on this. We might
Nietzsche.
go
That's
deep.
Frederick.
We
No,
don't. We
no,
might go
no.
deep.
No, we might go exist full fraudulent. I mean,
Oh,
sorry, that's
yeah, yeah,
Sigmund Freud.
yeah, yeah,
Sorry,
yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
might
Okay.
go, yeah,
You wanna
very
go
will
deep
to
there.
power on this. Okay,
Oh
so
man.
for
Okay, cool.
niche, for which niche and concept art would fit someone who's into storytelling and visual design? Because in concept art, there are different disciplines. I guess there's character, there's props, there's
Yes.
environment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so for someone who's leaning more, who's more who has an affinity more for storytelling and visual design,
Mhm.
which niche do they fit in?
I think you can go for VizDev, because I think in VizDev they have some keyframes, story-driven keyframes. I think that's a good start. And then yeah, I think you can go for that. So build some sequential illustration or keyframes that tells a story. Whenever, let's say, create a story with complete causality. For example, let's say the stasis. This is the normal state, and then after that, the inciting event. Okay, let's say the turning point, and then the climax, and then the resolution. So it's like, for example, Justin is regularly working. Okay, that's the stasis. The inciting incident. He looks out the window and there's a UFO flying. Okay, so that's the inciting incident. And then what would be the climax over there? Maybe Justin has a secret weapon, so that he took somewhere that the UFO is looking for, and he fought the UFO. And the resolution is that Justin, is victorious over the aliens. So that could be it. So just a complete causality, so we can see the quiet scenes, action scenes, and all the cool stuff that's in there. Yeah, there, cool. I think that's it. Yep.
Some of these questions right now have already been answered early on. If you missed it,
Sure.
just wait for the replay.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah,
I have
yeah,
one student to ask me here, and I think we can touch upon this quickly before we end the podcast, okay,
okay.
or the interview. Um, she asked about burnouts. How do you deal with burnouts?
Oh,
Yeah,
oh boy, do I know that topic. Wait,
she's
so,
young. She's young. She's like 18, so she's young.
oh,
Yeah, one of our
okay.
students in musings. Yeah, 18.
Wait, are you asking me or do
Yeah,
you want to
I'm
bring it?
asking. I'm asking. Yes. How do you deal with burnouts?
Okay, because someone asked that most. Someone asked that a couple of times in Brushpoint Lounge. So what I do, I really want to condense this. I just let it happen, man. I think I heard no, Artyom never has burnout because he's Artyom. He's built different. But I forgot which artist said this, but he just lets it happen, man. Jeff Watts, if you guys know
Hmm.
Jeff Watts and Stan Pocopengo, um, he's like, okay, I have burnout. Okay, I'll deal with it because I can't afford to like not draw because it's my livelihood. Or like,
Hmm.
okay, yeah, it hurts, it sucks, but I have to be professional. I am working right now as an artist, so unfortunately, if I'm burnt out, I still have to deliver because money's on the line, and I don't want to cost the studio time because time is
Hmm.
money. But I have been burnt out personally for my own work. Like after work, I'm sure you saw. I saw you heart reacts to, like one of my stories where I was like, "Man, I'm too tired to think. I'm just gonna draw a horse. I'm gonna study a
Yeah,
horse."
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I can't think anymore. Of like I was conceptualizing a mangohula or a fortune teller. So I'm like, "Oh, I
Yeah,
can't think anymore. I was training for spine animation, but I'm tired. That's way
yeah.
different from concept art. Again,
Sure,
there are
sure.
different
Yeah.
types of burnouts, but
Mhm.
they all run on brain juice. So I just let it happen to that young student. Don't fear burnout. It's nothing. Some people treat it like the plague. I noticed that as a
Mhm.
27-year-old. I may not be that young, but I'm not that old either. People are really scared of burnout. Just let it happen
Mhm.
because it's a sign of your body's saying you need rest. Because as an
Mhm.
athlete, both athletes are right.
Sure, yeah.
Uh, if you can't lift anymore, if you can't punch, that means you need rest. You're overtrained. Your
You're right.
your mind is a muscle. It's fatigued. Just play games. If you play games,
Mhm.
if you don't, I watch other things. I call it stupid things because it's like low maintenance, like Key and Peele. I watch a lot.
Ah, good show. That's a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If not that, I watch TV shows, which I have been getting into with my girlfriend. I rewatch Batman. I love Batman, and
You mean the
stuff not
animated series?
yeah, animated series and just movies.
Oh, right.
But the point is to not get your mind thinking about what you're burnt out about. If you're burnt out from concept art, don't do concept art. Do something
Mhm.
else, like maybe free flowing illustrations, or
Mhm.
just don't problem solve. Just draw something you want to draw. If you want to draw ogres or something or dwarves, then draw dwarves. If those are your comfort zone, draw within your comfort zone. So that's
Right.
how I would deal it. How about you, Rain?
Mhm.
I want to hear this from you, from
Right.
someone of your level. You have great mileage. I'm still getting there.
Right. Yeah, dude, you're way ahead of the curve, man. So Justin said he's not that young and not that old. I'm dirt. I'm dirt now. I'm dirt old. Anyway, so okay, dealing with burnouts. Okay, like what Justin has said, we're both athletes. He trains boxing and Muay Thai, right? He trains Muay Thai
I
as well.
used to train Muay Thai. Now I'm weightlifting.
Okay, he's weightlifting and doing boxing. I do jujitsu, do a little bit of boxing and wrestling, and of course calisthenics, all that stuff here. Now, about dealing with burnouts, I've had that. I think before I I pride myself in burning out because I think you're working really good. Before this was before, yeah. But
Japanese mindset.
yeah, but moving forward with where I am right now and seeing how these things come to pass, I think you should focus and look at it like a marathon. And when, like what Justin has said, when you feel like you're burning out, you can shift to another thing that might because it might kill your interest in what you're doing, and you have to like be excited for it. For example, like say it's like food. When you keep on eating the same stuff, okay, you feel like, oh, this again. Although I'm that type of guy, so to me that's okay. But I think to deal with burnout, this is something. Maybe this is burnout and being healthy as well, guys. um, I can't stress this enough. Y- I think please take care of your health. I know this thing that we do, you sit all day and this things like that, but there are some artists who had like injuries for this one, like having some sciatica, back problems, and things like this. Okay, now
Carpal tunnel is
carpal
one of them.
tunnels. Yes, I have students who had carpal tunnels. Guys, feel free to always to focus on your health. Like I'm just gonna mention this one to maybe to anyone who's listening, because I think this would be useful. You don't wanna achieve quote unquote mastery when your body is wrecked. Okay, so I've met like directors, art directors who's suffering from slip discs, nerve pinchments, and things like that. These were my art directors from the UK, and some of them that I met. Look, I have an injury on my upper cervical, C5, C6. I have disc
Oh,
protrusion, but I don't know if this is from my work or in jujitsu. Okay, I don't know, but I got injured, and now I have an art director before who has some slip disc issues, and he can't even walk and things like this here. But uh, right now, why I'm healthy, I can create good art, at least how I see it, because I'm feeling good. Because if you feel good, you can do good. But imagine if your life is compromised by this unhealthy things, you know. So that's why, guys, please take care of your health. I know it's like I've been notorious about this when giving advice to artists. They don't see it coming. I always say, hey, just keep stay healthy. This is coming from like friends who I've trained, and some people who did like PTs and SNCs and all that stuff. It's so unhealthy to sit all day. So if you can invest in a standing desk, please do. If the ratio would be, if you can do like 30 one hour of work, try to do some macro workouts like deep squats or like movement, head movements, and all that stuff, stretching. And then if you're gonna work on 4 hours a day sitting, do it like 5 hours of standing to counter that. Okay, don't just sit all day. Again, guys, I'm saying this because I don't know if this one my interest from jiu-jitsu or my lifestyle. So there we go. But also poor posture. Sometimes Cintiq can give you a poor posture. Right now, I'm completely switched to the tablet, so I can like be more aligned with my spine. So there. So
I got
again,
that from Alec because you mentioned about the Cintiq wrecking probably your spine.
yeah,
Don't you
yeah,
have
yeah,
it
yeah.
propped like an easel? Or were you like hunched over?
I
Or
don't know. I don't know, man. If that's from the look.
I have a display right now, so I'm
Yeah,
to
yeah, sure,
fix
sure.
my
Okay.
neck.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't. Well, maybe it's from that, or maybe it's just poor posture. But right now,
Okay,
I've completely switched to the tablet. Completely switched to the
yeah.
tablet. Even though like I told it to Alec, Wakeham is because Wakeham is partner of our school, and they would want to give me a Cintiq.
Shout out Wacom.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to them.
Baka
But
naman.
yeah, but I said, hey, I'll just use that tablet. They're like, "Oh, sure. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm sure. But maybe it's for maybe it's just me. But yeah, focus on your posture. So like if you're gonna invest on a good computer, invest on an ergonomic chair and also an ergonomic desk. So there, okay. But anyway, that's just a quick, short one. Okay. All right. Anything else, Justin, that we're gonna tackle?
I think you answered a lot of these questions that were both sent to you and asking the chat. Now, some people want to see a demo. Some of them are asking for your workflow. Again, if you want that, you can always go to musingsaka.com and
Yeah,
enroll in
guys.
his courses. You can see his demos every time you're there because you're in the
Yeah, guys.
class.
Yeah, we do that
Or
also.
you can have a part two.
Yeah, we can
Just
have
say
part
it.
two. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So stay
Uh,
subscribed.
yeah, sure. Guys, so are we closing now? I'm just gonna ask some quick stuff.
Yep, we are. We're closing it. Yeah, go
All
ahead.
right, cool. So, dude, let me. I'd like to ask you this because one of my student profoundly asked me this question, and I want you to let's close it with this because I think this one's a pretty good question about taking risks. You know, because he's currently employed on a let's say on a legit job, okay, legit job, but he's very passionate about concept art, and he feels like there's an avenue there, okay, and he asked me like about is it worth the risk of jumping in to chase your dream? Okay. Now, maybe this won't be to end this like interview in a good note. So let's ask Justin's opinion on that, and what can you say about it? Okay.
My answer is positive because again, I'm privileged. I am not gonna disregard that. I'm privileged. I may not be like the richest. I don't come from money as well, but I was they sent me to a private school for run by Jesuits, so that's pretty
Mhm.
privileged. Okay,
Yeah, Ateneo
but yeah,
is a good rep and having a good reputation here in the Philippines. It's a good reputable school. Yeah. Okay.
I know. I just wish they had more concept art related courses. Shout out to Neo. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
never
yeah.
gonna get invited anymore. But again,
Uh,
on that topic, going back to the question, I think no, I don't think I know it's worth the risk because I'm gonna tell you my story. A quick note. I really
sure.
took a
Yes, please.
risky
Yes,
one.
please. Yes,
I
please.
resigned. I resigned from graphic design without a backup plan. Like, I was like, "That's it. I'm done. It's 3 years of this. I'm over." And which is really funny because what really pushed me were the Brushpoint interviews where they interviewed artists. I was
Wow.
like,
Really?
and what was really funny is I interviewed some of those artists again as a host. So I've come full
Sure.
circle. Hey, Sir Thoughts, you convinced me to resign. Like, oh man, oh
Damn,
no.
man.
Yeah, so but yeah, I'm still here 2 years later working as an artist.
Yeah.
But I resigned without backup plan. I don't recommend it. Fortunately, I was living with my parents at the time.
Hmm.
Of course, coming from Ateneo, from a private school, my mom would be like, "Hey, son, you should apply for this. They'll send you to Japan. This has nothing to do with art, ma. This has nothing to do with creativity." But I was privileged to like be a thorn in her side. So again, not everyone has that privilege. Some are really under their parents' will.
Hmm.
But for me, it was worth. I would weather her bickering, like, try this, try that. This has nothing to do with art, but
Sure.
you're in the stock market or something like that. Like,
Hmm.
I weathered that because for me, if I was gonna suffer, I might as well suffer for something I want to do. But
Damn.
there's also that eternal struggle. Should art be? I think someone asked here, like, should art come? Should you profit from art, or should you just make art for art's sake? I wanted to do both, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah.
expressing myself, so I resigned without a backup plan. 1 month, I was not employed. I enrolled in Brushpoints when they had a course back then,
Wow.
because the
Yeah.
2D art boot camp. So while I was doing their course, I got into the studio I am in right now as an intern, which was paid. Surprisingly,
Damn,
what's
man.
really funny was that their internship paid more than the juniors. What was it?
Sure,
Juniors
sure.
were earning here in the country. So it paid off. Again, I have a week of privilege, so
Yeah.
I can't speak for like everyone, but yeah, I
Mm.
think it is worth it. Here I am. I got my foot in the door. I took a course in CJMA and Inka Schultz, wherever you are. Thank you. I took her
Okay.
course for character design. Once your
Cool.
foot's in the door, it's easier to
Maneuver.
mobilize,
Yeah.
maneuver yourself. And
Yeah.
what you said earlier, it's easier to shift around when you're in the studio. Experience is that passport to multiple
Yes.
places.
Oh,
So
that's a
that's
good way of pointing it. Yeah, experience
yeah.
and passport. Yeah, man. I think that's very encouraging. What they've said there about you took the risk and look, Justin is working right now. Okay. All right, guys. I think we're going a little bit over time, so let me just make this one short. Okay. Now, a little bit of a story. I think I'm just gonna give it. I'll try to make it as quick as I can. Yeah. So again, when I got laid off in that that Singapore job, okay, before getting into like the high quality, or sorry, the high level concept works from Street Fighter, Capcom, EA, Lucasfilms, all that stuff. Um, in the UK, I have an opportunity to work as working on the hotel reception. Okay, but that will take me 8 hours of work. Okay, so the thing that I took for me to work is that I took a job cleaning toilets and bussing tables. Okay, because when I clean toilets, okay, I can and bus tables, it will only take 4 hours of my day, and for the rest of the day, I will do my own portfolio. Now, I took the busing table job because I think it's cool because after you're done with your shift and they have some leftover sushi, you can get to take home some of them. And you can yeah,
Nice.
yeah, man, you can get all those for free and then you can take some bagels and all that stuff. So it's cool. Although it's like I was like dirt poor and it's kind of quite difficult and I'm renting a small room. But yeah, I feel like, and then I'm building my portfolio. I've had like maybe 200 plus or 150 rejections, maybe 50 with art tests that I failed. I even messaged some of the guys who kind of rejected my portfolio and asking them for feedback, because at that time, it's quite difficult to ask for feedback, and learning at that time is not as accessible as right now. But if you're listening to this, I feel like when you take risks, life rewards you. I think because you channel the spirit of an adventurer. It's exciting because you're sharper, because you don't want to fail. And I feel like the greatest risk really is to live cautiously, because you're thinking about safety and stability of what's out there versus being independent and creating your own stability coming from your skill set. Okay. And plus, as this world is like changing, I feel like you have to not rely too much on stability, but thinking about have finding that adventure. Okay, and also, like, again, beginning with the end in mind. If what would your story be like? Like, for example, at the end of your maybe not at the end, but maybe midway there, what would your kids say, or friends of you would say? They would say, "Oh, Justin is yeah, he does, drawing a little bit, but yeah, he went to the stock market and all that stuff here." Or maybe, "Oh, you know what? Justin quit his job because he loves art, and right now he just finished the last installment of God of War." What would be a better story? Okay, so I think that's a good one. Okay, so
Yeah.
anyway, just uh, again, never give up on that. Okay, so keep working. All
Okay.
right, cool.
I think Jade asked that. Was that Jade? Because she's in the chat right now.
Jade, he is he there?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I misgendered Jade. I'm so sorry.
Oh, Jade,
Sorry,
yes, he's
Jade.
there. So there we go. Okay, so just looking
Okay.
for some encouragement over that. Yeah, but anyway, hey, shout out Jade. So there we go. Okay, cool. Now,
For
yep.
me, yeah, I think it's worth it. Take the risk. If you're gonna fail, or if you're gonna fail, go down. Might as well go down doing what you wanted to do, or something you enjoyed, rather than something you loathe
Yeah.
that you're in.
Uh, I think if you're gonna live forever, then you shouldn't take risks. But at the very end of it, all the external expectations, all of this would fade away. In again, in the face of death. So, and just so you guys know, I left Ubisoft because I would want to pursue finishing my comic book. Okay, yeah, I left that very comfortable job. Okay, they of course, I after I left, I've had some offers. In fact, I have like two offers of lead positions and higher positions. But I thought that, hey, maybe I would like to focus on the educational sector part of my life, and then working on my comic book on the side. And then right now, we have this school right now, Musings. Now, I'm just saying this because sometimes when these things happen, you feel like, oh, I'm missing out on something. Yeah, you're missing out on life and what you really want to do. So if you we're in this like finite time, borrowed time, and so that's why I think you should pursue what your heart strongly tells you to do. So there we go. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. All good. Okay. All good.
Yeah, yeah. And to cap it off, going back to Nietzsche, as soon as
Okay.
you're born, you're old enough. Wait, no, sorry, it's not Nietzsche. That's Heidegger. As soon as you're
Oh
born, you're old
man.
enough to die. So live like you're dying,
Yeah,
and
man. That's right. That's right.
calculate your risks. I'm not telling you to like sell your house to like
No, no,
pursue
no, no.
art or something.
Yeah,
Be
yeah, yeah.
smart about it, but
Yeah. Be
also
smart about it. Yeah.
find the adventure. What Raymond said. All
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
so Raymond, is there anything you'd like to promote in this cam right here? Say.
Okay. All right, guys. Again, first, thank you so much for everyone who stayed here in the chat room, and also you guys joined us and asked us all these interesting questions. Okay. We're so grateful, me, Justin, JS, and the rest of the team of Brushpoint for making this happen. And to Brushpoint community, thank you so much for always being supportive. You guys are attending our workshops, and also I saw you guys sharing as well. The courses that we have. You're all very welcome to join us in our courses, and also to our students. Thanks for joining us, and to everyone who's listening. Okay. Thank you so much for your time, and hopefully this one will be good. Justin spill out a lot of knowledge, and let's do this one again. Okay, there
Here we,
and
you guys
yeah,
heard it
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
live
Yeah.
next
And
time. Okay.
sure. And also, this October, I think September, October, we're gonna open up some few specialized courses in musings for environment design, character design, and prop design, even hard surfaces. And I think later this year or early next year, we'd be inviting people who has worked on Magic the Gathering and many artists, my friends in the industry, who would teach specialized courses. But guys, feel free to join us and check us out. Again, we're Musings Art Academy. We're the first concept art school here in the Philippines. Okay, so whether if you're a fan of VizDev or concept art, or basically just want to touch up on your drawing skills, just send us a message. We're cool people. And check out as well Brushpoint. They have an amazing community. You can learn from there as well. Everybody here is just leveling each other up. So there we go. Okay, right, cool.
Again, your website is musingsaca.com if you want to
Yes.
enroll in those said courses. And for brushpoint.io, you can become a supporter to gain access to community challenges and feedback, monthly workshops, and so much more. So, again, like I said earlier during the potty break, we've recently started uploading podcasts in our YouTube channel. So, if you want to hear more about hard topics like money and art or opportunities and other things,
There.
stay tuned for because next Friday we have our second episode for the season for this
Wow,
podcast.
that's
So
good.
yeah,
That's good.
go to brushpoint.io for that. So
Yeah.
yeah, once again, thank you everyone. Thank you so much, Sir Raymond, for uh, for your time. We kind of went over time, but the conversation was just so good. It's not every day I get to talk to a concept art, a high level art director
Oh my
who's
god.
worked in concept art for 15 years. 15 years. Those are two
15 years.
digits. You know.
Yeah, 15 years
Yeah.
there.
Thank you. This was so juicy, man. I'm so
Thanks so much,
blessed that
man.
now
Thank you so
to be
much. Dude, you've did the heavy lifting for all of this. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate
I
you.
did a lot of listening.
Yeah. Guys, next time we might do in those Brushpoint workshops some surprise collaboration. So just watch out for it. Okay, watch out for it. We're gonna do that. Okay, cool. All right. See you guys. Thank you so much, and have a good week ahead.
We're gonna summon JS